all the downtime.
Okay, guys, we are live. Brent, shut the fuck up. Not live. For those listening at home, Brent is going to shut the fuck up for a moment. And welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Clearly friendly by telling one of my players to shut the fuck up at the outset. Tonight, we are playing continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing through the final leg of the Scales of War adventure path, originally published for 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons, but we are playing it using Robert Schwab's amazing Shadow of the Demon Lord role-playing game. Now, with us tonight are the usual cast of characters. Guys, I'm going to go through with the order that you logged in, say quickly who you are, who you're playing, and then we will launch into the intro. Brent, in answer to your question very quickly here, I've updated the stats for your characters. I've done nothing else. Any equipment, any other stuff like that, you guys are responsible for updating. I mentioned that in an email. So if you didn't update your character sheet, you do not have it for this session. So, starting with you, James, who are you? Who are you playing?
I am Ember, and she is a tiefling mage.
And next up is Jeffrey. Or no, Steve, sorry. Actually, I don't remember which of you guys went on next.
I think it was Jeff, but whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm playing Nutai Lethalis, a dagger-flinging rogue.
Okay, sorry, guys. I'm actually just checking to make sure that the stream is actually working. So, sorry, the next up is Jeffrey. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Jeff, and I am playing Oberon. He is a cigar-smoking, giant axe-wielding, psychic minotaur.
Nice. And last but not least is Brent and Dave.
I am playing Halen, or Halen Windspeaker, or the Elvish Monk.
And Dave.
And I am playing Rakkus Bloodhoof, second of the Bloodhoof brothers, party barbarian, and all around ne'er-do-well.
Okay. So we are going to hop into Roll20 now, guys. So we'll do the kind of camera dance that we do every week. Actually, I need to quickly open one document as well.
And it is 8 p.m. So I think I'm probably off to bed pretty soon here. I'll wait till you.
Great to have hanging out with you before we went live, Steve.
Yeah.
Have a good shift tomorrow, and then I'll talk to you on Sunday.
Sounds good. Good night, guys.
Okay.
Hi, Steve.
I thought he was joking.
Hi, Steve.
Steve's going to get up at 4 in the morning or something. Yeah. I feel that, what do you call it? The 16 ton song. You guys know the song I'm talking about?
Nope.
Yeah.
You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. You know that one now?
Nope.
Really?
I'll get a little more if you sung a little bit more of it. I'm just.
I am most certainly not doing that. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off here. But I appreciate the encouraging words, Dave. All right, let's share the screens here. So we'll start in there. Boom. And I will present to everyone, get that up and going. And turn my camera off and refresh. I tell you, they sure don't make it easy. There was a time when they had Roll20 directly interfaced with Google Hangouts. So you would just access Roll20 directly through Google Hangouts.
And they got rid of that. Why?
Because they got sick of having to update the Hangouts and deal with third-party publishers with their complaints about compatibility.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they said, go F yourself, we're not supporting anything. And then they folded it into YouTube, so I think that was part of the problem. So our scene opens, guys, with a view of a forest-filled mountain. This giant gray edifice stands. You know, its top skirted by snow, topped by snow and skirted by deep green trees, all coniferous trees. And we can hear the sound of some like pots and pans rattling and the sound of people marching. And what we see is this group of 4 heroes stomping along this rough path. And to call it a path is being very generous, because it really looks like that only the most keen observer would really recognize that there is some way to make your way along here. And you guys make your way up to the crest. It's of course our 4 heroes who are here today. We have a giant white-furred minotaur, and he stomps along carrying a big battle axe and a shield on his back. And we think he's the largest thing you'd likely see, but then he sees his towering brother walk past. Black fur etched with tribal scars across it. What color are your scars, Dave?
They're red. So that's all the tattooage is red across Raxus's body, and depending on how the light hits it, it's either extremely evident or really more hidden.
Okay, love it. Does it depend on his mood as well?
Well, it depends. I mean, when he flies into his berserker rage, all of his tattoos flare up at once, and he looks like this giant tapestry of black fur and tribal tattoos.
Okay. So the 2 minotaurs pass, and then we see a live elf carrying a spear, who seems to be, actually, I think probably he's the first one because he likely has the best sense of where he's going. Brent, you're the most familiar with the terrain here. And actually, for the viewers at home, guys, I can show you this. Oh, you're probably, sorry, I've got you on the wrong map here, guys. You're on Brindle, but let me show you this. Yesterday, you may not know this, but yesterday I did a campaign summary to bring everyone, all the listeners up to speed and to fill in what happened at our last session. So the Nute is unfortunately not there, and Xavier is not there, but the other 4 heroes, this is what they look like. The giant black-skinned, oh, sorry, I used the wrong picture for you, Jeff. Black-furred minotaur, the white-furred minotaur, the live elf with the spear, and then following up the rear is this red-skinned woman with sweeping horns coming out of the back of her head, and her eyes trailing little flecks of fire behind it as she walks. The minotaurs obviously do not need any heavy clothing, but Halen, you're wearing something appropriate for a more alpine climb. Even though you're from there, it doesn't mean that you've got fur or anything like that. So you're wearing the appropriate but non-encumbering cold weather kind of gear. But Ember, you have bare shoulders. You do not require any kind of extra clothing. You're hot enough. So you guys reach the crest of this peak.
Hey,
and you stop. Yeah, go ahead.
Did anyone else buy mounts, or was it just me who got a horse? And if so, I'm gonna leave it behind.
Yeah, you would not have brought the horse. The mountains are not like if you had a pack horse or like a pack mule, something that's got a more sturdy footing to it. That's good, but no. Are you bringing your trained bear? It's not on the sheet, so I'm gonna guess not.
Let's say that yeah. Let's go with not happening. That
Okay.
didn't happen.
I do want you to fill in at some point the scene where he was shopping and considered buying a bear, and then someone else.
You also said that we could start a business, so maybe I'll give you a business and plan involving trained bears.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a terrific idea. It's a bear delivery service. What do you call it? Well, I mean, you also wanted a lot of scrolls, so you could replace the 1,000 monkeys or million monkeys idea of we just need 1 million bears, and they'll write the perfect, most powerful scroll.
Bears.
Yeah, scroll bears, exactly. So you guys reached the peak. Now, one thing that nobody mentioned that I thought might be a fairly important piece. If you are approaching the Monastery of the Sundered Chain, which is, or Monastery of the Broken Chain, which is where you guys have been tasked. Like, for those listening at home, we've had some email correspondence between the last sessions, so we've got an idea of what the characters are tasked with. But one thing that I noticed that you guys did not pick up is anything that will let you see at a distance.
They were expensive.
They're very expensive in that game.
Yeah,
So,
no-
because you guys are so tight-fisted with it, you get to the top, the crest of the path, where it sort of reaches a ridge on this one and then heads back down again and further off. This is not what you necessarily see, guys, but I want to give you a sense of what you're looking at, because I think it's a very cool thematic picture. This is what it looks like. So this is, you are in the Stonehome Mountains. You've been traveling for several days now. Oh, I'm getting feedback from somebody. Let's see here. Feedback, back. Yeah, someone either isn't wearing headphones or I'm getting pickup from someone. Can you guys check and make sure that you've muted yourself? Let's see. Nope, I think everyone's muted. No, I'm getting feedback again, guys. Let's see. Who am I getting it from?
Can you tell?
Marco. Hello? No, it's gone now.
How about now?
Let's see here. Nope, it's gone. Okay, so that is what you see. Now, what you see, guys, is there is that same kind of like blasted, just slate and granite and stone that is between where you guys are and where the monastery is. There is a lot of scrub, so there's a lot of stuff to sort of to try and hide yourself in. But the monastery clearly was built for a bit of a defensive purpose. And when you heard monastery, what were you guys thinking? What was the vision that you had in your head of what the monastery would look like?
Some sort of old temple-looking thing.
Okay. So what you actually see is there is basically it's two keeps that are connected by a single tower in between, and that that are set basically at the precipice of this fairly long drop on the just the far side away from you guys, and there is a creek or river that runs through between the two. And let me just swap here to I'm going to switch the share screens. I think I can share to my oopsies application window. Yes, I can. Sweet. I'm going to share to the map. So I'm going to look at the map now, guys. If you can either look at the stream or you can look at the maps that you have yourself. They're probably easier if you look at yourself. Present to everyone. So you guys have the map now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are two, you can see how there is that tower in between that river. You guys are on the side near the south or the bottom of the page. And what this is there is one big keep that is close to you guys that has a sweeping tower on it. It goes up probably about maybe about like 200 feet or so. It's a huge spire. And then in the middle, there is another tower that sweeps up as high. And then there is another keep on the far side. Now, there are two things you've been told about the monastery. Is one, that it is a place where the faithful of Moradin go to sort of train and to pray. So it's sort of a home for warrior monks, but it is also a vault. And what it keeps is very, like, dwarves think in terms of centuries, right? They don't think in terms of years. They think in terms of centuries. And for even them, some of the relics that are held in the monastery of the in the vault of the monastery of the sundered chain or broken chain are ancient in their minds, like things that maybe even predate the giants from before the age of chains. So the second side is where basically what you were told is that the keep that is further away from you, that is where the where most of the people, the monks will live. And that's a 2-story keep. The one that is closer to you is where the chapel to Moradin, some of the feed hall, and then the tower in the middle, that's what leads down into the catacombs where the what do you call it? The relics are kept. So what you have been tasked with, well, let me just first off, let's deal with this scene. So you guys have that map now, yeah?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. So what you were told, well, let's maybe here cut scenes here. Well, I keep swapping back and forth here, guys. Sorry. Let me switch cameras again. Stop sharing, and then go to roll 20. So what you guys can see is this enormous structure. I mean, it is more of a fortified keep than a monastery. It's certainly not what I think you were expecting. You got you had those blueprints that you had a chance to review and commit to memory. You didn't get a chance to bring them with you. You don't actually have physical copies of them because obviously if you got captured by the orcs and they had access to the secret entrances to the keep, that would be bad for the monks. But you can just you can still review the maps. I'm assuming you commit them to memory sufficiently that you can you would know them at a glance. But there's one thing that seems to be different. There's some structure. You know how, well, I guess you guys have spent a lot of time in Overlook, and one of the things you have learned about Dwarven design is that everything has very precise lines. There aren't any, there generally speaking are not any kind of like errors. I mean, certainly isn't any errors made in their design, and there certainly isn't any, they tend to not want to do things off-center. They're very much big on symmetry as well. But even at a glance, you can see that there's something weird at the top of one of the towers, because there's something that is asymmetrical and seems to be sort of leaning in a bit of a different direction. Now, it is pretty far away, and everybody was too cheap to get a spyglass. So do you have any thoughts as to how you might want to try and see what's there?
I think the spyglass is out of our.
So if it's out of your price range, then clearly you need to work a little harder than Halen. I mean, come on.
Rackus offers to throw Ember as close as he can to get over there.
Is there any way we could close in and get a better vantage point? Any like?
While you cannot see what's in there, I think that because you don't have the spyglass, you're not going to be able to approach. But what you do see or hear is this, as something swoops overhead, and you see that this giant shadow is cast over you. And you look up, and in time to see this thing wing towards the castle or the monastery. And it's kind of arcs around and pinwheels in the sky. And Rackus, you feel your stomach go cold and fill with knots because you have seen this thing before. What you see, guys, is this.
Holy
a thing of nightmare and flames. It arcs around and then breathes fire in the sky and then lands somewhere in that keep closest to you. You got a chance to... Why don't you guys give me... Let's get some dice rolling here. Everybody give me a perception challenge with 2 Banes, please. what I want to know is whether you could accurately judge the size of this thing. This is where
whether we saw it.
Well, I don't doubt that you saw it for sure. I'm just whether you could judge the size of it from, you know. Nicely done, Oberon. Wow. Rackus, you were too affected by this.
Rackus and Oberon are now arguing about how large it was.
Yeah, yeah. Halen, it's surprisingly bad. Okay, so
surprisingly good.
Both Ember and Oberon, you look, and this thing has got to be from tip to tail is probably like close to 40 or 50 feet long.
Wow.
Huge. And the wingspan has to be about as large as well, too. When it lands down in there. You guys all sort of look at each other. There's a look of determination that crosses your face. And you start making your way down towards the monastery.
Sorry.
The screen goes black. And we see the white lettering 3 days ago. And our scene now opens in this very, very loud hall. And there are tons of, we can tell are adventurers because it's groups of different races, people from different ancestries, all collected together and kind of talking. And there's that sort of like, you know, when like old professional athletes get together, there's that sort of scene of all of them sort of having like, you know, catching up on old times, or maybe old mobsters getting together too, where everyone's catching up and talking war stories and shit like that. That's what the scene is this hall is just full of these people who are catching up with people. If we had more time, we would see how you guys ran into, remember the folks that you ran into on the road when you left Overlook?
Yeah.
They're there as well. You ran into them. So we see you guys kind of glad-handing. And I think that if you kept it too, you give back the spell book. Remember that you recovered that spell book from the halfling bard that was killed by the goblins? Yes, no? Does that ring a bell at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I recall.
So they're quite grateful to see that back. And that's when you hear sort of the crowd starts to get a little quieter in the center of this big room. And this is, if you think of like a medieval cathedral, that's what this is like. There's a massive sweeping ceiling, classic dwarven design. And there is a single sort of, there's a couple, what do you call them? Like balconies. And then a single sort of platform that leads out from the balcony so that the speaker could go down. Right now, the room is just like, it's just white noise everywhere because of all these people excitedly, you know, speaking in here. And that's when this person walks out, and let me just grab the speaker. There is this old dwarf, and to your eyes, I think that most dwarves look old. They have craggy features, they have big long beards, they've got, you know, wrinkles and whatnot. But this dwarf looks fucking ancient, and even moves like it too. He's leaning heavily on this big stone staff or cane, clank, as he walks along, and he behind him are two other dwarves who look quite old, but not like the, you know, right next door to a lich that this one old dwarf looks like. And the oldest dwarf walks forward, and he has all these very like ornate ceremonial robes. And as he walks along, you can see that there is one of the other dwarves has his hand. And those of you who have, I think, Halen, you probably picked this up because your perception is normally quite good. His eyes, one of his eyes at least, is completely milky white. And he walks up, this old guy walks up to the edge of the platform, of the speaking platform. And then there's a couple people who die down, but some people are in the audience are still too excited and still talking. And that's when the one of the dwarves that stands next to this old guy calls out, "Silence!" And then it sort of slowly dies down, and that settling kind of that you hear as an audience is settling down. And this old guy steps forward and takes a deep breath, as if this is going to be quite the effort for him. Welcome to High Halls, friends. I am Elder Craddock. And there's sort of a pause as he waits for people to respond. And you can hear some people in the audience, particularly the dwarves, are kind of like, "Oh, Elder Craddock! Did you hear it's Elder Craddock? Oh my gosh, it's Elder Craddock! Did you? Is he still alive?" And the murmuring sort of, as once he raises his hand, the murmuring dies down. I don't see the point in bandying words, so I will lay it out for you. War is upon us. A great host of orcs comes from the west. Their intention is clear. They will come through the mountains, bent on slaughter. Those they spare can look forward to a short life of carnal abuse and slavery. And you can hear there's some like orcs, people muttering and cursing about orcs. And there's one or two, maybe like young, as the camera pans across the crowd, there's one young guy who's right next to you, Ember, who kind of like, swallows hard at the prospect of facing orcs. Overlook and Bordrin's Watch in the mountains have long held fast against these raids. But our scouts say never has such an army gathered. Overlook has stood as a bulwark against their teeming hordes for longer than the dwarves have remained here. From before, back to the time of the Age of Chains. Now we turn to you, brave souls, to help defend not only Overlook, but all of the Elseer Vale. And he takes a deep breath because it's clearly a great effort for him. When the orcs arrive, we are certain they will come up through the pass. We know this because there have already been attacks from the tunnels below, compromising the fastness. Brave dwarven defenders have fought back the savages, but it is clear that the rest are coming, and coming fast. This is the plan. And they're sort of like, everyone sort of like sits up in their seats or pews or whatever. Durkick Forgeheart will lead the militias, and there's this really heavily armored, well-armed, kind of like middle-aged dwarf who steps forward, and the old guy sort of gestures to him feebly. Will lead the militias and most of your forces to bolster Bordrin's Watch. That is the rock upon which this wave must break. But there are reports that orc trailblazers, those who made their way across the Stonehome Mountains, either on foot or on wyvernback, who bedeviled the defenders on the east side, on the eastern slopes. There are many possible routes through which this wave could creep, and we need to ensure that they are all secure. We will speak to you each who have your tasks, but those of you who are bound for Bordrin's Watch, you will leave now. May your shields hold. and your sword arms not, axe arms not falter. And at that, there's sort of like a, and there's a cheer that comes up from the dwarves, and the crowd kind of like, yeah, all, you know, shouts out, and there's this, you know, pre-big battle scene from, you know, every war movie we've ever seen. We cut now where we see before we cut, actually, we see a bunch of older dwarves that get to the edge of the platform, and one of them points down at you, Ember, and gestures to the side, as if like you're going to meet. So we cut now to you guys meeting, and there's, as you guys are walking down this hallway with this old dwarf, he's talking to you guys about your task. And he says, now I take it that you've been informed what your mission is. You are to go to the monastery, Broken Chain, evacuate those who are there, deliver them safely to Bordrin's Watch. The warrior monks and the holy knights of the Order of the Broken Chain will serve as necessary reinforcements for those at Bordrin's Watch, both to add to the arms and to support with divine healing. We also need, and his voice sort of goes down, to secure certain artifacts that are there. If these artifacts should fall into orcish hands. And he looks in and sort of stops, and you guys all sort of stop with him. This is sort of you can picture like a walk and talk kind of thing. And in this room too, there's just, you know, you can't really see where the ceilings are, and there's these huge pillars that you're walking past. Again, classic dwarven design. There are artifacts in there, though you need know that their guardian, he need be convinced of the necessity of this. It is Rangrim, and he will be unlike any dwarf you've met. You deliver this to him, and he hands you something, and it looks like it's a chip of stone. It's got kind of like a black, almost perfectly black, but a little bit gray with flecks of orange, very like flecks of kind of orange bits in it. He carefully hands this to you, Ember, and says, deliver this to Rangrim, and he'll know that the threat is dire indeed. Now, let us look at the map. And our scene cuts again, and now you guys are in this big room with this big scroll sort of rolled out before you. And let's turn back to that map. Now, let me swap over the screens. Here we go. You know what, guys? Why don't you look at the stream? Actually, are you able to look at that on Google Plus?
No.
Yep.
That way, I can actually show you guys. Yeah, on the thing there.
On Google Plus.
On Google Plus, please. Yeah. So, if you guys want to, you know, put your heads together, it'll just be adorable. There you go. Look at that. Oh, you guys get a fortune point for sheer adorableness.
Oh, thanks.
So here we are, guys. What he shows you, it's very much like this. And he goes through what I had explained. There are two keeps. There's the near keep. It is Moradin's Fist. And the far is Moradin's home. In the center is the vault. Now, the vault is protected by an ancient golem crafted from before the dwarves came to this world, to this region. At the bottom of that vault is where you will find all the items that need securing, and where you'll find their guardian, Rangrim. To access the vault, you get access to the tower. The access to the tower is done by the bridge on the second level. Can you guys see where I'm gesturing here?
Yeah.
Access to the keep is only through a secured tower. You must access that tower. So you can see here, guys, where I'm gesturing. That's actually a separate tower that you can access through a hidden entrance that leads up to a second tower that then has a bridge that will connect to a a drawbridge that is lowered down. The drop from where I'm pointing here, guys, is about 30 feet. So the only way to access the keep from the surface is to get through that secret entrance here, through the door, up to the second level, and then across into the actual keep proper. The keep is secured by 2 portcullis, though if the monastery holds, then you should be let in. You will not be able to access Moradin's home. You will need to either access through the secret gate or through an even more secret method. Beneath, and he sort of keeps scrolling the map along, beneath the monastery are further ways of accessing. There is another secret path known only to the dwarves. You must swear that you will take this to your graves. And he looks at you sternly. Do you guys either nod or say that you agree?
Amber nods.
Shannon says he agrees.
At the edge of the precipice, there is a waterfall. There is a path that you can follow down, and through behind the waterfall, you will find a cave. And in that cave is a cleverly hidden entrance to the very bottom. And through that, and he's gesturing to the top where you can see here, through that entrance, you can access the monastery from below. If the monastery has fallen, and we could not say in front of such a large group, nor could we say without being sure that there were not spies among them. But we hear the hills are rife with orcs, and we don't know why. If the monastery has fallen, it is imperative that you gain access, clear them, and secure those relics. In the hands of the orcs, it would be devastating to those fighting at Bordrin's watch. And he sort of stops, and there is one other secret held in the monastery. The highways in the Darklands. Now, I think that you guys all, why don't you give me a, let's see here, I think the Wizard's Apprentice probably has that. Anyone with Cultist probably has training in it. So give me an intellect challenge, please.
All right.
Everybody?
Anyone who, yeah, anybody can do an intellect challenge. It's just those who have those backgrounds will get a boon on it.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So Ember and Rakkus, what you know is, you've never been there, obviously, but you know that beneath the surface of the world are, you know, uncounted miles of black caverns and passages that stretch for miles and miles and miles beneath the ground, both vertically and horizontally. The Darklands are said to be populated by things wholly unnatural, things that should not live, that only survive by virtue of twisted and evil magic of the deep. And what he's talking about is safe passages through those Darklands. Now, if you guys, I mean, I imagine you guys have drawn the conclusion, but if someone gained access to the maps of the highways through the Darklands, that would be a pretty fucking easy way to transport an orc horde without having to bother with going over the Stonehome Mountains. So, those are your 2 ways of entrance. You could go over to the walls, but if the monastery has fallen, you're likely to die then. Do you have any questions?
The golem, if if it encounters those who it's not familiar with, how likely is it to attack?
It is programmed to attack any who do not display with sincerity the symbol of Moradin. And he puts down, clunk, a medallion on the table on top of the scroll. And it's a medallion that is the symbol of Moradin, which is a hammer. He says, I trust that one of you can present this in good faith. And he looks over at the group.
All right. Okay.
If Ember reaches for it, he kind of does a...
No, she doesn't reach for it.
Okay.
Dalen can take it if no one immediately reaches for it.
Okay. So he says, I will leave you here for an hour. Commit this to memory, but take no markings of this. Should you fall, this will be the easiest way for the orcs to gain access to the monastery. So I'm going to swap us back to Roll20 again. Oops, wrong thing. Boom. And everyone go. Okay, guys. So now we cut back to our scene. Now, I guess first off, unless you've got any other questions for this old guy, we're going to cut back to the scene at the peak there as you're heading down.
Who else would have a knowledge of these safe passages through the Darklands if he's worried that the orcs could travel through there?
Races that I would not care to speak of.
Is there any way of sealing those passages if they are a big concern?
He looks kind of sheepish, and he says, "They're our ancestors learned of a way to secure the dark highways, and we thought it wise that those secrets be kept safe." And he kind of gestures down at the map in the monastery. The ways of accessing those ancient and dangerous ways of securing the highways is found in the monastery as well. Any other questions, guys, or can we cut back to the dragon-filled?
Would that be held in the vault as well, or someplace else within the monastery?
Those secrets would be housed in the library in the chapel of Moradin.
Okay.
Any other questions? Then I'll give you your hour. Let me know when you are ready to depart. And he kind of leaves you there. You guys all sort of look at each other. You look down at the map, and then our scene cuts back to the scene on the Stonehome Mountains, and you guys are making your way down. Now, in the time between, you guys have had an opportunity to discuss with each other, you know, sort of like what your possible ways of approaching this. So we're going to assume that this shit, like those conversations happened beforehand. You guys can decide which way you want to approach now. Now, would you guys give me one more intellect challenge, please? And the question is whether orcs use dragons or whether dragons work with orcs. So I think that if you've got a profession that you think would be appropriate for that, feel free to add a boon to your roll. Otherwise, just make your intellect challenge, please.
Is there any sort of historical records that I might have come across?
Yeah, I think that what you would be doing is trying to you would be using the benefit of your knowledge of history to determine whether an orc horde ever included dragons.
Okay.
Great roll, Oberon. Whoa, fucking crazy roll there, Ember.
What about cultists? The machinations of dragons sound like something that cults might.
because the cult, like we're using cultists to do, you know what, Brett? Yes, you would absolutely, because the remember that the Gith and Kai are known to use dragons, so that you would have some knowledge in relation to that. Great. So yeah, so it's Ember and Halen and Oberon. You guys know, like, orc hordes don't include dragons. They're not. Dragons are, you know, primal forces of nature that are geniuses. They have their own unfathomable goals and beliefs and drives, and they don't coincide with the, you know, brutal, cannibalistic, bloodthirsty, murderous, raping hordes of orcs. So this is fucking weird. And frankly, terrifying too. I think with Ember and Halen, you rolled well enough too, so there's probably something else you know. Dragonfire can melt stone. It's so hot and so powerful, it can reduce castles to melted rubble. You do not see any damage to the, or any such damage to the monastery.
That's a positive sign.
Is it? That dragon just landed in there.
Could it be an illusion?
It could be.
That means the dragon is made its home.
Unless they found another way in and then invited the dragon in after, which would be even worse. But
so, what you know now is that there is a dragon in the monastery. You know that there is something strange on the roof that looks unusual, but you can't make out what it is because you were too cheap to get a spyglass. I'm going to guess that when we start Iron Gods, I will find with every character with a spyglass in its inventory.
I got a spyglass, 2 sets of binoculars.
I think the GM just got to give us some coin for the spyglass, and we'll.
Hey, so the DM helps those who help themselves, everybody. So,
Amber's vote is for going through the secret cave behind the waterfall and coming up underneath the north structure and try to access the library.
That might be a better way than going above ground through the other secret passage.
Well, and possibly being a target for a dragon if they, you know, when we do come out the top.
You're immune to dragon fire, right? Remember?
I would not say immune.
Let's
Totally immune.
Guys, let's move about 10 minutes.
Let's test that.
Guys, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to talk about strategy for going into here too. Like, let's just have a quick conversation about what your contingency plans are, because your characters are now kick-ass adventurers who have gone through this shit before. You probably have an opportunity to talk about what you are going to do if you run into dwarves in there, what you're going to do if you, because, you know, to the casual observer, you do look like kind of a monstrous raiding party. So there's that. Also, what are you going to do if the orcs have, or something else, have seized control of the monastery?
Right.
So 10 minutes, go.
That's a lot more sneaking if they've taken control of it.
Take a look. You guys have the benefit of the map. Does it look like there is an opportunity for you to sneak around in there? Like, take advantage of the resources that you guys have.
No, to get to the center point, I think we're pretty. I mean, there's 2 passages, one from each side, so I think we're pretty screwed.
The ways to access the second level, guys, are from either, you know, I think all the subsurface map that you see there, guys, that is all under Muradin's Fist, the one that's on your side right now, not on the Muradin's home. The way to access the second level in that one, in Muradin's Keep, is through. You see where there is in Muradin's Fist, there's the second courtyard, the one that's to the south. like near where the entrance to the chapel is. There's a staircase there that will lead to the second level. There is a.
It looks like there's a number of locations that'll lead to a second level.
Well, there's no, because the staircase in just north of the library. Where is it here?
Where is the library?
Oh, I'm sorry, not the library. The library is on the second floor of the chapel.
And the second floor is on the right-hand side?
Second floor is on the right-hand side. That's correct, yeah.
Okay. And I'm assuming that the library is probably that structure that's got the 4 little pillar-looking things?
So the 4 pillar-looking things. So you see there is a circular room in the very south part of Moradin's Fist. There's a courtyard. There's the southern courtyard in Moradin's Fist, and then that leads into a circular room.
Yeah.
And then that circular room leads into the chapel.
Oh, I thought the northern structure had the keep, the library, not the southern structure.
No, the southern structure has the library.
Okay.
So the way that you see so just north of the chapel, you see there's that 10-foot wide staircase. You see that, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That one leads down. That leads down to the catacombs, which means also that the catacombs lead up to that.
Is there a way into the catacombs other than from that staircase? It's just one way in and one way out.
There is a way of accessing. That is okay. So if you look on the catacombs, guys, I think it's the first page you got.
Yep.
Now you see that there is on the right-hand side. There's that one big set of catacombs, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the very bottom, on the left, there is a circular staircase. You see that
little half circle thing?
That's right. Yeah, that leads. So if there's that second square to the left of that. There's a similar staircase that leads to there, and then that hallway leads down. See that there? Sorry, if you come up that circular staircase, just to the south of that, there is another 10-foot wide staircase.
Yep.
That leads up to the first level of the keep.
And that's just outside the chapel.
That's right. Yes, that's right. So that would be one way of accessing. If you could get into the catacombs and then make your way to that, and then up, that would get you right inside the keep. And then you could access the staircase in the courtyard and go up to the second floor, wind your way around into the library, and then work your way around the balcony and then into the tower, and then across the bridge to the second tower, the one that leads down into the catacombs, or to the vault.
Oh, I got confused. I thought the vault was underneath the southern structure.
No, the vault is in that tower that's in the middle of the river.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the plan for? Here, let me just quickly point out, see if there's any other ways up here. So from the catacombs, that appears to be the only way up to the surface. Although there is that second set of doors, you see in the catacombs, that separate, the bottom left separate square.
Yep.
At the top of that, there is that circular room with the 2 doors.
Yep.
It's not clear where those stairs lead.
Well,
does anyone have any kind of architecture abilities or anything like that? Any training in that?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, then I'll leave it for you guys to try and guess. These maps are crafted. Well, no, I mean, like if you look at the map carefully, then you can see. I mean, what I'll do is for the folks listening at home, let me just swap to the actual map or one of the maps so I can. We're not just looking at the screen here. You guys don't look there, please. Don't look at the stream because it will reveal all my enemies.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
The strange-looking lean-to thing on one of the towers.
Yes.
Is that on the southern structure or the northern structure?
It is in the tower at the top of Moradin's Fist.
Moradin's Fist is the southern structure.
That's correct.
So that's going to come right up into there.
Yeah, you guys have about 3 minutes left. Anyone else want to share any thoughts, or are we ready to get it on?
I'm thinking we go through the catacombs.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down with that.
So as you guys are turning, you start making your way down towards it. Let's see here. Oberon and Halen, would you kindly give me a perception challenge, each of you with 1 boon, in addition to your trickery, Brent?
Yeah.
Would you say an intellect?
No, perception, please.
Oh, sorry. With 1 boon?
With 1 boon, yeah.
Oh, really?
They're both terrible rolls.
Anybody
I have 2 fucking boons on that too.
Brent, you do have a fortune point if you from cuddling. If you do want to spend that.
I've been stockpiling those. Yeah, I will.
Okay, just mark down 1 of your fortune points. So Brent, as you start making your way down, there's this weird sensation that you get where you hear the chatter. I want you to take a moment to put yourself into Halen's shoes. And I want you to think of what Halen's day-to-day life would have been like when he lived with his people. They were a nomadic, mountain-dwelling clan. So they likely lived in huts and stuff like that, or they're elves, so they're probably amazingly built kind of tents and stuff like that. But it's the sound, and it only lasts for a split second, of the general chatter that you get from sitting around the cooking fire with your people. Imagine now how that makes Halen feel. And now tell us about it.
Just sort of heart goes into his throat. He feels a huge sense of loss and loneliness.
Okay. Am I correct in thinking that his eyes may have welled up with tears as well?
Probably a little bit, and unease, because that's really weird to all of a sudden think of it in like as a sort of seasoned warrior, having random thoughts like this when he's on sort of like on mission.
Let me be clear. This is not a random thought. You could hear it and smell it. This wasn't nostalgia hitting you. This was being there. Oberon, you can sense.
I'll stop something wrong.
Oberon, you can sense that there's this massive spike in emotion of Halen, and it's a roller coaster where it is a spike of joy and then crushing despair following, and sadness. What do you do?
I'll tell everyone. Halen stops when he sort of.
Sorry, no, I was asking Oberon what he does, because he just sensed that you're.
And I can tell it's coming from Halen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to walk over to Halen and just say, what is going on, friend?
Something's not right. I heard the I heard the voices of my people from my village, or from my tribe. I smelt the smells of a cooking fire. I didn't imagine smelling it. It wasn't a thought or my mind wandering. It was here right now.
You have been here before?
No. The smell and the sounds I just heard, I just smelt, were sounds were sensations I'm very familiar from my past, from my tribe, and I just heard them now.
Strange.
Not remembering hearing them, I heard them.
Your senses were sent somewhere.
Oberon, you can sense that he is absolutely telling the truth.
Not of my own volition.
Rackus looks at Halen and says, "Are you crying?"
No.
No, you're crying. Shut up. Oberon, he is absolutely crying. He can't stop himself. He's not like sobbing or anything, but like there's just tears running down his face, his chiseled, handsome elven face. I think it's suffice to say that this is very uncharacteristic for Halen. Is that fair to say, Brent?
Yeah. This is what I experienced just now was real.
Rackus keeps patting Halen on the head, repeating, "They're there. They're there."
Oberon, what do you do?
Oberon will now more carefully search his own mind to see if he has some connection to this place as well.
Okay. Give me another perception challenge with one boon, please. Okay. So you stagger back as you are assaulted with two very, very different sensations. One is the feeling of being part of a legion. When I say legion, I mean like a Roman legion, in the sense of fighting side by side with your shield brother and sister, protecting and defending. You can hear the chants that you were taught as a disciple by your master, only you can hear them chanted by 100 voices, no, 1,000 voices, all in that singular tongue that only you and Halen and this strange blind dwarf that you met in Brindle, that you seem to speak. And you feel elated by the camaraderie and the esprit de corps that fills every single one of them. And you can sense that all of them connect with you and connect with each other. So this feeling of bravery and honor and courage and conviction just feeds on each other. So you are more one, but also legion, in a sort of feedback loop. And it's something that you have never felt before. It's like you felt something that was a pale shadow of it when you were training with your master. But that would be like a whisper compared to 100-person choir. But then there is this horrible feeling of anger and blood and domination and lust. And those two sensations are sort of jarring against each other. And that's why I say you stagger. And just like Halen's connection, it's there and it's gone. And you actually take a step back. And Rackus, you see this. Halen, you're standing right in front of him, so you see this. Give me a perception challenge again, too, please. I'll give you a boon on it, as well as your trickery.
Did it feel like that was coming from Baphomet. Okay.
No, definitely not. You know the call of Baphomet.
Okay.
This is
was something completely different.
If nothing else, here's the thing. One of the ways it differs. Baphomet does not have that sensation of lust. Baphomet is about blood and murder and cannibalism, but the lust component to it feels different, and it still is unpleasant, but it is a different sensation than what that buzzing in your head that you always live with. So Halen, you can feel that there's a similar wave of power that has washed through Oberon as well as he opened himself up to the thing. And I think because you guys are both sort of attuned to it now, you know that it is coming from the monastery.
You feel it as well. Is it a connection to your past?
Seems to be. Yes, I could feel the presence of my clan or my ancestors calling out to me and giving me courage.
You know, Oberon, that the sensation you felt was different from what Halen felt. Halen felt the joy and elation of connection again, and then the loss of that connection. What you felt was like a distorted version of that, something that was tainted or was infected with something else. So that seems to have passed, and it does not return. You're standing on the slope. The blowing wind of the mountainside is there. The plan is to access through the catacombs, guys. Is that right?
That is correct.
Great. I'm going to grab your characters from the Cueva here. Let's see. Jeff, do you intend to use Kitty at all tonight?
No, I don't think I would bring. I might not have even brought Kitty along.
I just, it's been a couple sessions since she's done anything, so it just gives me one less token to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, Kitty might have come and is like up in the mountains with us right now, kind of.
Yeah, sure. You can absolutely control her that way. Let me place you guys here, guys.
All right. Before we get into the thick of things, I'm just going to hit the bathroom.
Sure.
Maybe when we get to the catacombs, there's just a little scene of Kitty's about to follow us into the catacombs, and I kind of direct her to stay in the mountains.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that you guys have an empathic connection anyway, so I think that you guys will be able to sort of like tell Kitty to meet up with you when you need to. So you make your way down the side of the path, and it's you hear this roaring of this waterfall. I'm not going to make you make a stealth check. You know what I will let you do is you guys can each make, if you want to try and spy what's on top of the telling Kitty, yeah, that's a good idea, Rakus. Only that's kind of like asking my dog to cook me dinner. It's not that she wouldn't be able to do it. It's that dinner would be gone right away.
I made you dinner. I also ate dinner.
Yeah, I made dinner. It was delicious. So would you guys each give me a perception challenge, please, with, I'm going to give you 3 banes on it. We'll see if you can spot what the hell that thing is on the top of Muradin's fist as you're making your way in.
Sorry, Jeff, what was the roll with 3 banes?
Perception, please.
Oh, perception.
That's a nice roll.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty tough because it's pretty far up, and I think that you're trying to catch a glance of this while at the same time not exposing yourself to whatever might be watching.
19's not good enough?
19 is absolutely good enough. Sorry, I was looking at something different. Fucking show off, Ember. So Ember, as you're looking by, you look up and you're horrified when you realize what is there, because what you see is that it looks like it's something that is crudely assembled, and it looks like some kind of like wooden structure. And only when you get to a certain point that you realize It's a couple of rough beams, big heavy things that have been sort of lashed together, but there seems to be something hanging from it. And with a 19, you can tell that it is a dwarven body, nailed in a crucifix kind of style to the top of the tower. Oberon, you make that out as well. So you're making your way down this side. You see this, and you make your way down the side of the cavern, or the side of the to the edge. And thanks to the keen eyes of your elven guide, you're able to identify where the path is. And it's kind of like that thing. Remember that scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where, like, from one camera angle you can't see the platform, but from another camera angle you can see it. It's that kind of thing where it's hidden by the natural features. And had you not been told to look for a specific sort of guide point, you wouldn't have missed it completely.
Cool.
But you do find it, and you make your way down the path, and then slowly we see, you guys, all four of you, one by one, disappear behind the white mass and roaring cascade of water coming from that waterfall. Inside the cave, you guys act. No one's got a light spell anymore, do they? Right? It's Corey's character that had that.
Yes.
I've got light as an incantation.
Do you want to cast that, or do you want to?
Sure. I will use. We'll be here for a while, right? So I've got one that's a persistent one, which has a longer duration.
Okay.
To do that.
What does it cast on?
I'm thinking, what should be casted on, like a rock or something?
I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know the answer to whether it's like D&D where you cast it on something. Can you read the spell?
Oh, sure.
This is why. So, guys, just as an FYI, and I'm not.
No, it is. I've read the spell before, but it is cast on something.
Right, but here's what I'm saying is that I want, for the purpose of Pathfinder and from the rest of this game, I want everything loaded into your character sheet so we can just click on it and then see it right away, so we don't have to ever look anything up. And it's specifically for this kind of stuff. And I don't mean to pick on you for this, Brent. This is why I load all the stuff in for you guys before. So what does it say, Brent?
Let's give me a second. Celestial, where is it? It's persistent light. You touch the target and the light shines from it a 10-yard radius for the duration. It's one object you can reach.
Okay,
so,
and that's the persisting one?
Yeah.
What's the duration?
It is 8 hours.
8 hours, great. Okay, so what do you touch?
What's easy to hold in the hand? Does someone have like an amulet they're wearing, or?
Right, you could cast it on the tip of your spear.
Yep.
Except then I can't turn it off if we need to stealth and attack.
So what are you thinking? Another suggestion.
Does anyone have a necklace that could glow and then they could put it under their shirt if we don't want it bright?
Pick up a stone off the floor and enchant that.
You can put it in your pocket.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just, I'm sure I'll have like something that I can just string around my neck, cast it on that.
Just
like an old memento, and then if I need to, I can just put it under my shirt to dim it.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, so you cast that, and you guys make your way into the cave. Now, what I need you guys to do is another perception challenge with 3 banes. And the reason is because this is dwarven craftsmanship. So even knowing where this secret door is going to be really fucking hard. Apparently not for Arrakis, though. Jesus. So you guys find it, no problem. Let me just move you over here.
We'll find it too. We all find it.
Okay, so this is where we are, guys. Let me just change the source of light here.
Kevin, as we go in, Ember's casting armor on herself.
Okay.
You gotta minimize. It's right at the very
last 4 hours.
Okay. So you guys get into the end of the very end of this cavern, and then you start feeling along very carefully, trying to find the door. And who rolled best? Halen did. So Halen, you get to this one point, and it looks like a natural wall. But because of your very, very keen senses, there's maybe just a slight imperfection on one of these things. You reach up a little higher, you push in, and then the door opens. And what you see, go to dynamic lighting. Is this. So let me just resize your tokens a little bit here so it'll be easier for you guys to navigate in here. Okay. Now I'll move you guys into the hallway here. Okay. Resize you there, Dave. I shrank you. And Ember. Okay, guys. You can feel free to move yourself in here. Just go ahead and keep on moving, and I'll narrate as you're going. Okay, so you make your way down here. You can see that it turns. Let me just turn off the light. The only person who's got light right now is Halen, so hey, you're gonna have to wait for Brent to move his token up a little further if you want.
You know, Kev, as Rex looks back and sees Halen trailing up the rear, he'll activate the persistent light on his greatsword as well.
Okay, awesome. Let me get that going for you.
There you go.
Why did you fucking cast it?
He seemed all keen to cast on.
Okay.
Kevin,
So, yep.
As we're going through these dwarven cut hallways, are there any like empty torches or unlit torches on the walls, or was it there's just nothing?
There are sconces that would hold those, but I think that the torches, there's probably at least a torch. Yeah, there's probably one remaining here.
Okay, then I'm going to grab one off the one of the first available ones, and I'm casting Control Flame on it.
Okay.
So I'll have a light source.
Okay, there you go. All right, so Rakus, what you're seeing is stairs leading up. And along these hallways here, there's very fine dwarven architecture. These hallways are, you know, you could hold a level against any point on here and it would be perfectly straight. So go ahead and keep on moving, guys.
Ooh, he's really far ahead.
So you keep on going, and it keeps leading up and up. And there is a, as you're making your way up these stone steps too, the hoof falls echo all the way along.
Maybe I should go ahead slightly.
Sure.
And
Remember, you don't have dark vision, Brent, so you're kind of stuck with either using light or not. So your stealth's not going to be super effective anyway.
but I don't clump.
No, but I mean, the light would be a pretty.
Hello.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's your effort to be silent would absolutely be true, but I think that the light may alert someone. But anyway, so you make your way in here, and what you see is there is a ancient fallen chain in here, and it seems that there are along the walls of this room there are carvings that should depict the struggle of the dwarves against the giants. The struggle that actually led to the collapse of giant civilization and the end to the age of chains. This chain, it looks, well, I'll tell you, Ember, it exudes enormous magical power.
Okay.
So, you know, because you guys carefully studied that map before, that you walk up. Who do you think is the most clever amongst you?
Rakus, definitely.
Well, I don't doubt that Rakus thinks he's the most clever. Who do you guys think, as the players, is
Ember
the most?
thinks she's the most clever.
So, Ember, you walk up and gingerly step over this chain. You walk up to the wall. There is a one part of the carvings in the side where there is a dwarf with his axe held high, and you reach in, you touch the top of the axe, and gently move it down, shunk, shunk, and the secret door opens.
Oh, what I wanted to do.
What would you guys like to do?
Well, that's kind of obvious.
Where is it?
Oberon, are you being left in the dark there?
Oh, whoops, sorry, yeah. I like the dark.
Mm-hmm. You're just being passive aggressive, waiting to see if they notice. No one knows I'm here.
Can I surmise sort of what the intent of this magical chain might be for?
If you were to guess, this may be a relic from the Age of Chains.
Oh.
Very, 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 very old.
And is it affixed to the walls or the floor, or?
Yep, affixed to the walls. It's sealed in 2 different places. If you were to guess, you would think that it just has ceremonial purposes. It is something for the dwarves. Yeah, something for the dwarves to recall, a reminder, but not something we would want to celebrate.
I always thought the Age of Change was more metaphorical.
You know, the dwarves were literally enslaved. So,
But it's not one that the dwarves would want back.
no. It is a reminder. Not for nothing. It is on the way out, a secret exit. So what do you think that might mean? I'll leave it to you, the players, to try and infer what it means for the dwarves to have placed that here.
You know, as they're leaving, they're casting off the chains.
Or a reminder, if they're fleeing, that they once, the way they cast off those chains was by fighting. So you guys make your way in, and there's another secret door you pass through, and then you get into a little room that is just, it looks like it is this is a alcove in which you all die. So
Shit.
I hope you guys enjoyed the campaign. I really wanted to go for a surprise ending, so I hope this was a surprise.
So we all got scurvy in that one place together?
Yeah, exactly. You missed. There was a nail that I didn't tell you about that you stepped on. Now you all die from lockjaw. So, this is there are barrels and crates of supplies that fill this room, many of which have been smashed open. There are 2 doors leading out of here. What do you want
I
to do?
will listen at a door now that I've noticed the crates have been smashed.
You
And I'm guessing the dwarves didn't smash their own crates.
You can hear the sound of brutal voices speaking in an ugly and blasphemous tongue. There's maybe like 3 to 5 voices.
Before things go further, Ember's casting Truth Ear so that she can understand what's being said.
Oh, and I'm going to try casting Oak Hide from incantation.
Okay.
And what's being said, Ember?
Sure. Where did you click on Truth Ear? Oh, here it is. All spoken languages you hear.
Obviously, I missed what they just said, but anything else they're going to say, I'll know.
Sure. No, they're still arguing. They're arguing over its. You're not sure what language it is. Now you can understand it. Where's that brandy? I want more of that booze. You already had the last cast. No, this one's for me. I'll split your side open. Give me that damn cast. You've already had 2 and you're too drunk to have it anyway. It's mine. If you're going to keep arguing over it, I'll take it. Go and take a piss in the wells. And it sort of carries on from there.
How many different voices does it sound like?
I think he said 3.
As I said, 3 to 5.
3? Okay.
Oh, 3 to 5.
Yeah. What do you do, guys?
I think we need to make quick work of these guys.
Yep.
Rackus throws open the doors.
Oh, nice.
I love you, Rackus. Dave, please play your catfolk gunslinger the exact same way.
Well, he's gonna have 9 lives, right? Obviously.
If you keep recreating the character, then yes.
Excellent.
So ready? Are you guys ready?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we had a choice.
Are you sure?
Practice sort of.
Well, it's 3 voices.
Well, actually, hold on. I want to make sure that I've got things in the right layer here.
But we might want to make sure they go down quick. But
Oh, they'll go down quick.
Hello. Okay, so that's my innuendo. Hello. All right, guys, ready?
Yep.
Bop, bada, bop, 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 bop. Orcs.
I don't see any orcs. I just see looks like some wells.
I see, dude. The
What
orc.
does Rackus see? This is what you see standing there. This is just a rough representation. Let me show you guys what the orcs waiting in there look like. There you go.
Oh yeah, cool.
Giant, tattooed, scarred, vicious, larger than human, disgusting, stinking orcs. They turn and look at you guys. Now, guys, we're not going to do this whole, because we're doing this all in one session. Give me a cool, you're going to be able to kill these things. Give me a cool description of how this happens, and I'll let it happen.
Oh, Rackus, you're up first. You're the one who barged in.
So Rackus looks into the room, takes stock of how many there are, charges to the far end where the 3 are, being gracious enough to leave the one in the corner for his for the rest of the group, and starts just slashing away with the silver greatsword.
Done with one swoop.
Ember bursts a few of the casks of barrels that are there to make a mess on the floor and have the guys have a harder time fighting us.
Okay. So explodes and falls on the floor. Halen, what happens?
Before the barrels explode, he hops across them.
Guys, let me just be clear. I just want a quick scene, like a quick cut scene of how these things all die. We're not going to do running around. Just tell me how they give me an interesting narrative of how these things died. That's all I'm looking for.
He leaps over a barrel and skewers one of the remaining orcs.
Yeah, and this thing looks at you. Sort of that scene from Fellowship of the Ring where it grabs your spear and kind of pulls it into it and then kind of collapses down. How do the other 2 die, guys?
Oh, Rackus beheads one.
Yep, one's down.
And then turns around and gores the other one right into the belly, tearing back and forth with his head.
You guys
as the trails go flying.
Guys, you can feel free to fill in what other people are doing as well. I'm not fussed about this shit. Like it's not gonna use anyone's resources or anything like that.
Right, it's just for fun.
Yeah, it's for fun.
Ember's casually leaning on the wall because she knows that the Minotaurs are going to make short work of these guys, and it's not worth her effort.
Oh, you thought, but one of them goes charging right towards you. What do you do?
She turns invisible so she can't see him, or he can't see her.
Hits the side. Demon! Demon! You can hear exactly what it's saying. The rest of you guys don't know what it's saying. Demon! And he's smashing the ground and swinging at the air. How does it die?
I kick him in the head.
It takes more than that. He staggers back, and then what happens?
I punch him in the throat.
Blood is gurgling up. You've clearly broken his trachea, but he's still coming towards you. He says something that you don't recognize. Oh, no, you do recognize now. Fucking elf!
Ember comes up behind him and puts the sword of fire through his back.
What was that, Brent?
I said I like Ember saying it. So, failing this, Halen went to pull out his javelin with the spear, but Ember got through before.
Okay, and it looks down at its chest and kind of still filled with fury. You bring the sizzling, and I'm picturing it being just you can see just the flame, and then as the orc falls down, then slowly Ember appears again.
Yep.
So it dies. So what I want to get across to you guys is that these things, you fought hobgoblins before, you fought goblins before, you even fought one big ogre. Orcs are like the fucking the Energizer Bunny of things. They will keep trying to kill you while they're dying. They are the worst fucking things to fight. You think of all the worst qualities of the ferocity of the Minotaurs, the tenacity and durability of the dwarves, and the horrible lust for sensation that halflings have, all combined in one monstrous cannibalistic form.
Kev, in terms of size, how do they measure up to
Minotaur?
Arrakis and Oberon?
Well, I think you stand like 7 feet tall, don't you? You're fucking huge. So
Yeah.
they're still probably about half a foot shorter than you, but on average, these things are easily like between 6'6" and 6'8". And they've got the stockier frame too. So like heavy wise, they're probably like 300 pounds each. They're massive, dangerous things. So these things are down. It seems clear that the monastery has been compromised. What are you going to do, guys?
Well, we keep working our way through.
I'm kind of curious about the dwarven brandy that they were bragging about.
Remember we had that talk at the beginning of the session about keeping things moving?
Okay.
So
Ember's still grabbing a bottle of brandy on the way up.
Okay. Hold on here. I'm in a bit of lag. Come on.
Rax is on a bit of a mission. He's basically tearing through rooms, just ripping doors off their hinges.
Okay. Let me just sorry guys, my I think I may have frozen. Hold on here. What is going on here? Yeah, my computer may have frozen up. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're moving slowly.
Yeah, the stream is frozen as well too. Hold up. I think something's...
Do we want to stop and restart it?
No, I'm just going to try and see what is there's a process that's running. It's chewing up all my memory. Yeah, because it's back again now on the stream at least. Let me just what the fuck? You know, it always picks Friday night to run.
Kevin. Oh,
come on. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. Let me see. Come on. Well, that finally closed. And small users. Okay, what is running here?
If you liked it, feel free.
Oops, sorry, guys. I'm just checking to see if there is a security scan or some other bullshit that's running right now. Jeff, what is NT kernel?
That'll just be part of Windows. So maybe it's an update or... It's like a core component of Windows. The kernel is the part that runs...
Core component? Okay, so I won't do that.
You might kill your Windows.
No, so whatever was spiking is back to normal now. So that is whenever before it may have been the Adobe program that was causing problems. Let's see. Sorry, I just need to be able to access my roll 20 in order to change the screen. Why? Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Okay. Okay. So here is. I'm just going to clear out some of the doors here, guys, and you guys can feel free to start making your way through here.
Kevin, I had a question about the Shadow Staff.
Yep.
The spells that I can cast from it, does it raise with my power level, or is it's static at just rank up to rank 3?
No, whatever your rank of whatever your current magic is.
Okay.
Oh, so no, it's rank 3. It says rank 3, doesn't it?
It says rank 3. I just didn't know if that was just
only the rank 3 stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys keep on moving yourself through, please.
I'm gonna keep moving my stupid thing.
So you're going your way through here, guys, and you see there's another door, and behind this door. Okay, Rakus went running through. What you see through there, Rakus, is a bunch of horns. What you guys might want to do is remember where you're going. If you want to keep going through and trying to run into every orc you can in the building, it's going to not end well for you.
Yeah, we don't go down here. We want to go through these double doors. Hello, Crazy Minotaur.
Hang on. Oh, come on. Why am I not selected? Stupid piece of shit.
We're trying to get up into the monastery, are we not?
Yes, and we want to go through these double doors.
Okay.
Going through there is just a whole bunch of prison rooms. Oh.
You know what? Sort of, I gotta start screen sharing again. What's going on here? Come on, run, you little horse. Let's go. My apologies to those listening at home if you've been watching a black screen for the last minute or so. I forgot to update the screen share. Okay, so you get there, and give me a good narrative, guys. How do these things die?
Amber tries out her new spell to basically lift him up in the air and tear him in half.
Okay.
Rakus runs in and with an underscoop of his sword, basically splits one from nuts to stern.
Okay. From nave to chops. Okay. Another one goes down. Another goes racing at you, Halen. What do you do?
I meet him charging head on, but when he thinks, I'm going to go with my spear, I leap up and do a flying kick.
Okay. Do you release your key?
I do.
This massive shockwave races through this thing's head, and you can hear the entire skull is basically reduced to brittle sand, and it drops down, its head making a sick, wet sound as it hits the ground. What remains of its, or what little brains it had, now gone. Oberon. One more left for you. What are you doing?
Oberon comes in and he gores him with his horns, and the Minotaur grabs onto his head and it really starts shaking him, and Oberon takes his giant axe and actually cuts the legs out from under him as he's sort of being headlocked by this orc.
Okay, so this like struggle goes on as this blood is pouring out of the severed limb. You even have time to hack both of them off. This thing is still hitting away at you, and it takes your brother to grab it and yank it off, and you realize that its eyes are like lulled in the back of its head, and it's basically just been on instinct still fighting you. So savage is the orc spirit to fight. So what you see over here, guys, that elaborate sort of clockwork structure, that seems very weird. Do you want to try and make any sense of that?
I would love to.
Okay, give me a intellect challenge. I think any. You don't have any engineering ability or anything like that. Nope. So just raw intellect then. Anybody else can feel free to make that check as well too.
Nice.
Whoa! Holy shit! Nat 20. Look at that. Oh no, it would have been nat 20. It'd been something plus 20. Okay, so what this is some kind of, like, if you were to guess, it's something to do with, it's not cosmology, so it's an orrery of some kind, but it doesn't deal with the movement of planets. It deals with the movement of something else. With a roll 20, actually, that's probably good enough. You actually might think that this might be something to track planar concordance. So when there is the synchronicity of the planes, that might be something that this tracks. And you can see it's very slowly moving.
Is this
There's
dwarven make?
With a 20, you think so, yeah. So, Rakus, you've gone over to those stairs, I see.
Oh, yep. Where are you going? Going down to, yep, these are the stairs we want to go.
Okay.
It really is the only way out of here.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Well, there's another way. I mean, there's death, but Rakus, where'd you go?
Up the stairs?
No, your token. Where's your token? I don't see it.
Oh, right there. Can you see it now?
All four of us are here.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm getting lag again.
I'm still at the base of the stairs, Kev.
Sorry, guys, I don't see it there. Hold on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reload this. Let me just see if that'll make a difference. This is getting really bad right now. Yeah, maybe refreshing it will just help clear that up. Let's see. Really nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to move through material quickly and the fucking computer won't work with you. Damn it. All right. Okay, so let's see if I can select everyone here.
Excuse me. Oh, we lost Kev from
Is he gone?
roll 20.
It's on roll 20.
Oh, yep. Yep. That's so weird that he's having the problems and we aren't. Like, it's usually... Oh, wait.
I think it's something with his computer.
Yeah, it's just really unusual because it's never happened.
Right, it's always us.
Yeah, it is always us.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're not in roll 20.
No, I know. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here. Well, and my...
Kev, are you in the ether?
Guys, we have free run of the dungeon because the DM doesn't have control.
Unfortunately, neither do we. So we're basically stuck at the bottom.
So let's take a moment and loot the bodies.
We're bathing in orc blood.
No. Let's not get disgusting.
Yeah, let's go back to that brandy. It's a break time.
Yeah, we're getting shittered on dwarven brandy.
Uh-oh.
It's got medicinal purposes.
Okay, so I can see you guys okay in the roll 20 call call.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm having real problems with roll 20 tonight. And it just suddenly is happening. This is really weird. Can you guys hear me still, or am I breaking up?
We can hear
Nope,
you.
you're perfectly fine.
I got a black screen for roll 20 right now. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually close down this window, and I'll just log. I'll open up the window again and log back in. See if that's the reason that I'm having problems. So we'll stop screen sharing here. I don't know why it hits a certain point where it causes this problem.
Has this happened before, Kev? Like, I don't remember this ever happening.
No, I don't remember ever having this much problem with it before. And I'm on a wired connection here, so there's no internet issue. I checked with my what do you call it? The task manager, and CPU usage is not. It was spiking before, but I think it's roll 20 that does that. So, come on, camera on. There we go. Maybe my camera seems to be malfunctioning now. What in the living fuck is going on?
I'll be use this moment.
Sure. Sorry, for those listening at home, we're having some issues with the.
Oh, you're back.
Here I am. Hello. Let me see if I can get back into roll 20 here without crashing my fucking computer. So, and you guys are heading up the stairs next. So that will be exciting. Okay, I appear to be logging in here, not to jinx it. There we go. It's loaded up. It's moving okay. I'm able to select shit quite fast. Okay, well, it's good to know that this was apparently the fix. Let me share screens again.
I'm back.
And James, we didn't know what we were going to do without you.
I wonder that myself sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To everyone.
Let's see.
All right. So let me get your character. So again, I apologize for those listening at home, and I apologize to you guys obviously as well too. I'm sorry for the little fuck up there. So let's move you guys to the surface. Now, just to be clear, I want to make sure you guys understand that it is your choice to go up to the surface, so that I don't want any blame for what's going to happen to you once you do that.
I blame Rackus.
You guys are okay with that?
Yeah, of course we're okay with that.
Okay. So let's just. I just want to make sure we've got that on the record, so it's clear that whatever consequence comes from you guys going up a level, it is completely your decision.
Okay.
What is the worst that could happen?
If there's any doors, we should take a moment to prepare ourselves for what's on the other side.
Ember's going up invisible.
Just to clarify one more thing, Dave, was that a challenge?
Not like there's a dragon around or anything. What? Wait. Ah, shit.
So you guys make your way up the stairs. And again, this whole place is a very fine dwarven craftsmanship. So everything's got, perfect corners, well maintained. And you can see everywhere there are carvings that are different ways of venerating Moradin or parts of dwarven history or so forth. Let me, I actually got to refresh this so I can turn the darn camera on. So you guys move up to one more level. And what you see before you is that long hallway that you can see on roll 20. To your left, there's a 10-foot wide staircase leading up. And to your right, at the end of the hallway, there's a curved wall with 2 doors in it. So what would you like to do, guys?
I don't see anything. Oh, there we
go. For some reason, Kev, my roll 20 is not refreshed. To me, it all looks like we're still at the bottom of the stairs.
Mine too.
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to refresh. This is Jeff and James. Can you guys see it?
I see that we're on a floor that was similar to what we were just on.
Yep.
Yeah, like sort of in a little hallway there.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a stair right below you.
Yeah, and these are the stairs that we wanted.
That's right. Brent and Dave, how are you guys looking?
I am refreshing stuff. See what's happening here. It's slowly doing something. Awesome. I got a blank screen.
Oh, Halen died.
I've gone into the dark.
Yeah, I did warn you guys. So I hate to say it, but hopefully you've enjoyed playing Halen thus far. You will still be welcome to play in the campaign, but of course you will be playing a gerbil.
I was going to say a blind guy, but
a blind guy would be cruel. These gerbils can see; they just can't do anything. Excuse me.
Okay, hang on. I think we're coming in.
Okay, Dave,
I'm arriving on this plane. Okay, I'm good.
Dave, can you see where you are?
Yep.
Okay. So where would you like to go, guys?
Hang on. We're going to consult the map.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to very quickly go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
On the map. On the map. On the map.
Oh, God, you watched too much Dora.
I'm sorry. I don't know. That was.
Only we can have this conversation. Well, maybe James can.
What's that?
Dave started into Dora. I'm the math song.
What?
Oh, come on. Your girls aren't into Dora?
Nope.
Dora. Dora.
Never? You didn't have to go through a Dora phase?
Nope. Very briefly, like a week or two.
Oh.
Oh, you suck, James.
I had to go through like a year plus of that.
Yeah, well, I had to deal with My Little Pony and other stuff.
Oh, My Little Pony is actually it's like the horse version of Teen Titans. It's actually kind of fun.
You know what? I don't want this podcast to be turning into My Little Pony talk, so let's just end it right there.
Wow. Somebody became too good for My Little Pony all of a sudden.
It's bad enough I know all the characters' names, and I was dragged to the movie.
Hashtag Brony Love.
There are worse kids' TVs.
Hello, guys. Hello, guys.
Hello?
Emmy sends her love.
Shout out to Emmy. Woot!
Woot! She does think you're all going to die, but she does send her love. So. Okay, so what do you guys do?
Emmy needs to stop using DM knowledge.
Emmy is a remorseless metagamer.
Kevin?
Yep.
I'm just going to look at the guys and say, I'm going to go up and take a look. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself and just go have a quick scout around.
Interesting. Very interesting.
If he doesn't come back,
do you guys agree
there's
with that?
something up there.
She's not waiting for them. She's just casting on herself and disappearing.
Awesome. You know what's an interesting tidbit, guys, is how acute a dragon's sense of smell is.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I love this game. All right, so let me just move over here so I can position you, Monsieur Ember. Oh, gosh, I actually don't know.
Change the flame.
You know, one thing that Roll20 does not support terribly well is splitting the party, because I have no fucking idea how to have only some of you see. So I guess the upside here is that you guys get to all see what Mistress Ember sees. Though here's the interesting thing, Ember, you're going to have to put your torch out which means you may not be able to see anything. Are you going to go up there in darkness, or are you going to try and hear what is up there before you go?
I'll try to hear what's up there before she goes.
Not a bad idea.
See how much fun it is to charge in front of everyone else? I told you, Ember.
So let me move yourself over here. So the staircase is actually a lot longer than it looks. No, hold on, I'm a fucking idiot. No, it isn't. It's about 20 feet long. So I'm assuming you guys have been showing some degree of caution, because Ember, here's what you see.
Exactly.
And nothing.
Here we are.
Yeah, be it's a big map, so there'll be an awful lot of blackness in some areas.
Yeah, I
you
just
find
had to find. Okay.
Have you found it?
Yep. I see 4 orcs.
Yes.
I see blackness. Yes,
So, what do you do, Ember?
I did.
Oh.
Now, these orcs
Yeah.
are... One second here. Sorry, I keep closing that fucking book because Bush League DM. Let's see here. That's why I can't make it to the majors. You know, always in the fucking DM farm team.
She sees the orcs and she's going back up to the minotaurs.
Okay.
We can deal with this the same way we dealt the other ones.
You think so, eh? That does sound like one way of approaching things. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So you come down, Amber, and what do you tell the guys?
Hold on. At the bottom of the stairs and just around the corner, there are 4 more
Top
orcs.
of the stairs. Remember, it goes up.
Oh, sorry. Top of the stairs, there are 4 more orcs in a room with some double doors going out into the courtyard. Did they say anything while I was there? I wasn't there very long, but...
What's the duration of your spell that allows you to understand things?
4 hours.
Okay, so you can still hear them.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting around kind of smashing shit, and they're saying, one second here, let me go over there. What are we looking through this stuff for? What are we trying to find? Vurek says we gotta find something to trick that golem. No, we just gotta take it down. I can crush it. And he waves his axe. And the other one says, that there were 2 other braves who thought the same thing. Now they're gone. Kargosh is nothing but paste. We need to find something. You gotta be smart. That's what Yargar always says. Smart. Smart does nothing. Just give me my axe. And that sort of carries on.
Okay. So they seem to be looking for what it is to get past the golem. We know what we can use to get past the golem. It doesn't matter what they find; they will never get past. Because I believe they had to present a symbol of Morden with sincerity to the golem, and orcs are not capable of that.
Hey, do you guys think it's weird that orcs are through here and that we haven't run into any dwarven corpses?
We did see one hanging from the top of the tower off of Crucifix, so...
But not since we've entered.
Not since we've entered, so they've done something with them. Hopefully not... no.
There's a list of really unpleasant things that they'll do to them.
Yeah.
Usually in order. So
yeah, let's try not to think about that in a moment. Minotaurs, you want to run in and do your stuff, and we'll come up behind you?
Do we ever? Brother, let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, and when you say it, what do you mean by that? No, I'm just kidding.
I meant that.
It's an old lawyer trick. All right, hold on here. That's what you got as well too. Your DM is also a litigator. So, I see your rules lawyering and raise it to another level. All right, guys. So I'm going to say that you're partway up the staircase when this occurs.
Everything goes black.
Heroes go first. Then the orcs go. I'm assuming you guys are taking slow turns. So you're going to get one surprise round. You guys just go ahead and take a slow turn here. What do you want to do? Let's get some dice rolling. Let's spill some orc blood.
Maybe.
Who wants to go first? Don't bother marking your things. Let's just go. Go, go, go. Who are we going first? Rackus?
Yep.
Get in there. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Whoever wants to go next.
There. Oh, man.
Well, there we are.
See if you can take him down.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
The orc does not say this because he doesn't have time, but he's thinking, I was hungry for beef. Beef, you're what's for dinner.
Okay. Ember's going to hit this guy over here with Immolate.
Yep.
And she's going to get a bean. Or, sorry, a boon.
Whoa!
Shadow Staff.
Rocket. Is that a nat 1? What the what? That was a nat. Oh, no, nat 1 on, not on the attack roll, so that's good. Holy Jesus. Look at your damage.
I know.
Dorakis, how do you kill this first one? Give me a cool description.
Rakus will feign to the right and then drive the sword back through the orc's side, tearing back towards the front, all at once, impaling it through the side and then disemboweling it, watching and laughing as its guts spill out onto the floor.
Okay, so its guts spill out onto the floor. It collapses down, but it turns around and seemingly trying to... It is, like, if not dead, like, it's dying. This is a dead thing. It still turns and kind of tries to pull itself through its own innards towards you. And then dies, still glaring hatefully at you. Ember, you as well explode one of them. There's this massive flame detonates and annihilates one of the orcs. Who wants to go next? Go ahead and just make rolls, guys. Like you got a surprise round, so you can each take an action. Just go ahead and take it, and then we'll fill in the description afterwards.
Sure.
Whoa! Oh, that's shit damage. Come on, Halen, you can do better than that. Oh, you don't even get a second attack yet. Dang it.
I'll use my Ardent Surge and my Ardent Strike and attack with my Great Axe. So that is...
actually, you know what? Oberon, give me another... you get another boon on your attack and you get, roll an extra d6 for damage. Something is fueling your rage right now.
Whoa. And, I need a d6.
Yeah,
that's actually 2 extra d6.
Okay, so you absolutely annihilate this thing. Now I need you to make a will challenge, please, with 1 boon.
Okay, boon.
Oh, thank God. You get this moment of terror when you realize that you were almost consumed with the same fury that your brother loses himself to. So, Brant, what happens for you is you jump forward. Did you use your spear or your kick?
This time I used the spear.
Okay, so you leap in and you spear this thing in, and it's so tough, it turns towards you. And like you rip a big chunk of its flesh out as it turns towards you, and then it brings its axe toward up as if it's going to try and attack you. Now you guys will get 1 more round of attacks because heroes go first. Looks like there's at least 3 of you in melee combat. Brent, do you want to start first? Do I try and take this thing down?
Yeah, because it's moved in like that, I will, and it's impaled on my spear. I'm going to punch it.
It's not on your spear anymore. And when it turned, you pulled, like it basically, because you didn't want to let go of your spear, it turned and basically let you tear a chunk of its flesh out and from its side. And your spear is free now, but it's got this bleeding wound at the side, but it does not seem to be fazed by that. It's almost fueled by it.
All right, well, let me try that again.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And I will, this time I will also, I will release my key with that strike as well.
So I think what happens, Brent, is you dance back, and we see this like super like tense close up of your eyes, and your eyes narrow for a moment as you're gauging a proper vital strike, and you artfully bring your sword or your spear back again like a needle and stop it, and it goes straight through this thing's the pate or the top of its mouth into its brain, and you hold there for a moment, and this thing just kind of, and blood is starting to pool down your spear, and then you release it away, and without your support, it collapses down, and its hand is still kind of spasming, grabbing its axe in its hand.
Okay, I will refocus I'll look down at it, then refocus myself.
Okay. So, as you guys are standing here, there's that door that leads somewhere else. You're thinking to the courtyard. There is an overwhelming smell of cooking meat.
Oh. I have a bad feeling about this.
I also have a bad feeling about this.
Rackus is really hungry.
Ooh. Is he?
Well, I mean, cooking meat is cooking meat, isn't it?
Give
Can he
me-
tell? Can he? Is there something different about the smell of this particular cooking meat?
It's centuries old.
No, you can't really tell the difference. Are you salivating?
Probably a little.
Okay. Do you guys want to open the door? You can hear many orc voices on the other side of this. Talking.
Yes.
Turn it over. Ember, you hear this. Turn it over. It's gonna burn. Doors
They're
are gonna
cooking.
burn.
Kevin, I'm casting illusion on the two minotaurs. Or sorry, invisibility on the two minotaurs.
Oh God!
It lasts for a minute.
And at the same time, then I'm also casting battle prowess on myself.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, and you're clicking on invisibility too, James?
That's my.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just click it. Yeah, just as a reminder, guys, just please click. Make sure you click on the thing so we know we've got all the rules there in the chat feed, or whatever it is. Okay. You guys ready?
Yep.
You get close. One of the invisible orc hands or minotaur hands touches the door. You realize that this is the last moment to turn back. You all take deep breaths. And are you ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Okay,
For
let's
barbecue.
once again, noting that you are making this decision to go through these doors and into the courtyard. You want to know another interesting tidbit, guys? Dragons love barbecue. So you open the door, and that's what you see, guys. I need all of you to make a will challenge roll, please, with two banes.
Ooh.
You know what? Before Rackus does that,
Make that roll, please.
all right.
Where's my will? There it is. No.
And you guys
Is
are
this
not having it-
being caused by a creature, Kev, or no?
Probably
No,
the
it's
horror
the
stuff.
scene of what you see here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, made it.
Okay.
I'm on a roll tonight.
Oh, Halen.
You know what? I might use a fate point there. That was
You go ahead and spend that. Spend your fortune point. That's a good idea because a negative result, I would have had you cry out.
2.
So fortunately, none of you guys, you've seen some really fucked up stuff in your time traveling through the Elsyr Vale. But this really must be one of the worst. Okay, please stop moving yourselves, guys, until we finish. What you see is a vision of hell. Crude metal cooking implements are set up above probably a dozen fires that are burning. And the smell that you can, that has been filling your nose is the burned remains of dismembered dwarf corpses set on spits above these various fires. 3 of the orcs chew on various body parts. 1 sucks at an eye to pull it out of a dwarven face. Charred, its beard roughly hacked away, but its meat still fresh and juicy. As you can see, its lifeblood running down its face. The one orc calls out who just ate it. The eyes are the best. Oh, and he chomps down onto the cheek, pulling a chunk of flesh off of it, exposing the white bone beneath. This is the vision that you find, guys. What do you do?
Halen's super disgusted. He's gonna fly in, literally.
Nice. Okay. So you got a surprise round on these guys now. So.
Okay. So I am doing Mountain Fall.
Okay. Go ahead and click on it. And you hammer down the horrific meals that have been cooked above these things. The cooking fires go flying to the side branch as the concussion wave spreads out from where you land. You hit most of those. How far does it go? Is it short range?
4 yards.
So that's let's see. 4 yards is 12 feet. So it's about, yeah, you know, I think you can catch almost all of them, Brent.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Actually, I'll say all of them. So all of them are hit to a certain degree. Oh, and they're all knocked prone too. That's amazing. So and all of them are knocked down. I'm just going to move Rakus back so that he doesn't get affected by that as well. So Halen was the first one to act. Now, guys, who wants to go next? Rakus, did you want to go?
Sure.
Okay. What are you going to do? There's a bunch of prone orcs sitting there.
He takes his greatsword and he starts driving it through the backs of the orcs that are basically prostrate in front of him.
Awesome. Sort of like a reverse sword in the stone kind of thing. And down. Go ahead and make a attack roll. You get 1 boon because they're prone. Ooh, 12. That's not good. But 12 is 12 good enough? No, it's not actually. Shit. So unfortunately, this thing, their survival instincts are so keen that it sees you, the glint of your silver sword, and it moves to the side, and you bring your sword down into the ground, and then pull it out again.
Kevin, they're invisible. They won't see them. Nothing invisibility says anything about becoming.
It's still not auto hit, so I'm still treating it the same way. So he's visible now.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you know what? No, he'll auto hit that one. Because I'll say, there's not a flat-footed status in Shadow of the Demon Lord, and it probably would have been 1 boon, maybe 1 more boon. What did you roll there, Dave? Did any of your boons show up? Yeah, you know. Well, Dave, roll 1d6. Click on your fate dice. If you roll a 6, you're going to hit this thing.
Okay.
Like, you probably hit it, it's just you didn't get through its armor. So let's see here. You just need to roll a 6 on one of your boons. If you had rolled a 6, you would have hit this thing.
Yeah,
that's the opposite of 6.
So, however, Dave, don't you have an ability to make a second attack against an adjacent target? Or is it only when you hit? You get a choice. I think one of your warrior abilities is you can do extra damage on a hit, or you can attack a second target. Well, we'll remember that for next round. So who wants to go next? Oberon or Ember? Sorry, I just want to keep things moving.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, Oberon will rush in and attack this goblin right here.
Or orc.
Or sorry, orc.
Okay. Okay, so you go racing in. 1 boon on the attack roll. Go ahead, and then it's Ember. Do your turn.
Okay.
1 boon? Is this extra boon, Kev?
It's an extra boon because they're prone, yeah.
Oh, okay. And so I'm also using my Ardent Surge, which gives me a second boon.
Okay.
So it's 1 boon because of the Bane.
Oh, 11 agility is not very good.
It is unfortunately good enough. These things are not super agile.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, Oberon, what the what?
Wait, why is my...
You didn't roll any boons on those, though.
It didn't add his strength either.
It
Hold
didn't
on.
add anything. That was weird. Try
There's
that
been
again.
some quirks with the character sheet before. So let me see here. Hold on.
Great axe.
Uh,
Worked just a second ago, I thought.
yeah. Hold on. It's something's. Let me just. Oh shit. One thing. Sorry, Jeff. Let me just quickly go into your character sheet and do one thing, because I had this. We had this problem with Dave's character as well. Let me see if I can fix it here. Yep, there we go. It's fixed. So what I did is I just changed the attribute.
And just actually put the number in there.
No. Just all I did is I changed it from using strength to using agility, and I switched it back from agility to strength, and it fixed it.
Oh, okay. So I'll roll that again.
Yes, please.
1.
No, fuck.
Seriously? Yeah, it's not doing anything.
No, it's just roll. It's not adding any banes or boons. Is it asking you for banes or boons?
Yeah, thought I did. 1. Submit.
You should have 2 boons.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, because you're using a great axe, right? That's why a great axe is a cumbersome weapon, so it's got 1 bane on it.
Oh, so if I don't put... Oh, see, I was only putting 1. So I have to put both in there because it's going to take 1 away.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because I have 2 boons, but I was just putting 1.
Well, you know what? A 14 hits anyway, so that's fine.
Okay.
So let's see. So yours. Let's see.
And then it actually does 2d6 extra damage right now.
That's what you rolled was sufficient to kill 1.
Okay.
And then because Halen has really started injuring 1. Which one did you want to target there, Ember?
Oh, just this one. First one.
Yep. Okay. Boom. Gone. And Rakus, I'm going to move you up so you're adjacent to someone here, and that's who you try to attack. Okay. So that is the end of surprise round. Next round. The orcs kill you! Cry out in fury. What are you guys doing? Fast or slow turns?
I will take it fast.
I'll do fast turn.
Okay. Is everyone doing a fast turn or anyone doing a slow turn?
Yeah, looks like we're all doing fast.
Okay. So who's up first?
Is any of them holding anything in their hand, like the body parts?
Yep.
Say a skull of a dwarf.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to use burst on the skull.
Okay. Nice. Explodes, and the shrapnel shreds that thing's hand and most of its face. And it kind of like turns towards you and then collapses forward onto this cooking fire. And there's a sickening smell of burning orc flesh that begins to fill your nostrils. Who's up next?
Please.
Rakus will go. Are they still prone?
Yep. So you get a 1 boon on their attack roll. I wonder if you're, Dave, because you were rolling fairly low. I wonder if yours was fucking up too. Hold on. Let me just make sure, because yours was causing you problems before. Right here, Rakus. No, it's adding, so it was just a bad roll.
Okay.
Holy shit. I believe that's the highest attack roll we've seen so far.
Ta-da!
Good Lord. 30 to hit? So yeah, you fucking annihilate this guy. How do you eviscerate this thing?
Rakus takes his sword, plunges it into his head as he's laid prone, and then just rakes it down his body, splitting him in half.
Dead. Halen, what are you doing?
I'm going to, since I'm prone, I'm going to cave on the skull in with my boot.
I really wanted to see you do like a Mario thing of do another falling mountain or whatever.
Make them bounce.
Plam, wing, plam.
So then I would catch some of our allies in that attack.
You absolutely would. I just thought that would be funny. You can't move after a quick turn, Dave. Okay, so Brent, go ahead and make your attack roll. One boon because he's prone. And then it's Oberon. Or then it's Oberon's turn because they're taking slow turns. Yep. So another one's dead, Brent.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm actually taking a slow turn as well.
Over you.
There's no one in front of me, so.
Slow turn, no problem. So you're up first then. The orcs are going to have to take a slow turn because they got to get up.
Okay. I'll walk over here and attack that one.
Okay.
Again, using my Ardent Surge. Holy good
Oh,
lord.
that's garbage.
Except I get to roll twice because of my spell.
Nice.
So maybe that'll help.
Big money, big money. Yes, that is
There we go.
absolutely good enough. So another orc dies beneath your great axe.
And you took 23 damage.
Would you give me another will challenge, please?
The Bloodlust. Boon or no boon?
Oh, sorry, will. Yeah, a will with one boon, and then a perception challenge with one boon. So will. Oh, nice one. Great. So you're keeping that rage in. Oh, and you know that call? What do you think the chant is that your order makes? Like Tosh or something like that?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Faldukin?
You hear that like as if there were 100 of your fellow Minotaur behind you. Tosh! And you're emboldened. You get one boon on all your attack rolls until I tell you otherwise.
Nice.
Nice.
And at that, and you can hear as well too, the source of this elation is behind this door. And the source of your rage is also behind this door. These orcs leap to their feet and try to take down Halen.
My AC is 20 right now. Hopefully that helps.
Did I mention that you can use fortune points to make me re-roll things?
Did you roll higher than a 20?
Well, I rolled a nat 20. I'm going to guess you want me to re-roll that?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I rolled a 14, so you miss. So this thing swings at you, and it goes. You're easily able to duck underneath it. Oberon. Nope. A 16. Does that hit you?
Me? No.
Nope. Okay.
Oh.
So
Wait a second. Actually. Yeah, that actually is exactly.
that does hit you. Okay. So you take. Let's see here. This giant axe. 6 points of damage, please. As it hits you. Then you can hear. Actually, I think what you instead see. No, we'll do it for next round. So next round, top of the round, guys. Who wants to take a slow turn?
I'll go.
Yep.
And I'm just going to do a flame bolt at the nearest guy. That was this one here.
Which one? Okay, yeah. This is actually one of the things that is unfortunate about playing two involved fantasy role-playing games at the same time is I keep thinking fucking Pathfinder stuff at the same time. I'm like, well, you're gonna have precision shot, and oh no, you don't. No, you don't. He just fucking dies.
Boom.
And again, because the reason these things are going down so easily is because of Halen's initial, concussive blast. It really softened everyone up. Okay, who wants to go next?
I can take a stab at the guy in front of me.
Okay, give him shit. So no extra boon, but your normal trickery bonus you can apply.
All right, sounds like a plan. I'm gonna go stabby stab. Oh, and I will release my key on him.
Okay. Whoa. So yeah, he goes flying across the yard. Whoa, hits against this wall and then dies. He tries to get up, but his entire rib cage has collapsed in. So you can hear the sort of like further cracking of his ribs as he tries to bring himself up. Amazing strike. Rackus and Oberon, were you guys taking slow turns or fast turns?
Slow.
Slow? Awesome. Okay. So on fast turns, there's a couple things that happen here, guys. First thing is doors are thrown open. And then this door over here near the chapel explodes open. And out strides the biggest, meanest orc you've ever seen. This is what he looks like.
Oh.
And that hammer in his hand is completely covered in dancing lightning. Just going across, not injuring him whatsoever, or his titanic fellow who strides next to him, slowly loping forward like a fighter, walking his way towards the ring. That's what he looks like. Not a single weapon in his hand other than his calloused, mighty fists.
Wow.
At the far side, more orcs come charging in. And then from the other side, this wizened, twisted orc steps out, who looks like this. More food, he says.
I think we need to run through those doors and close them behind us.
Well, there is one thing that you know. Oberon? Rutash! You can hear it in your head again. Rutash! Again, calling from this direction. Rutash! Now it's thousands of voices you can hear calling, cheering you on. And the source of it is the hammer in the hands of Yarga Blood Drinker. Guys, let's mark what we're taking, slow or fast turns. All right. I actually can't see your marking, Brent, because your character's got so much crap. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. Okay, so fast turns first. Here's up first. Ember, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to do the same thing to them that I did to the Goblin Riders.
Which is?
I'm casting a death spell from the staff.
Okay, what are you casting? Oh, that...
yeah,
whatever?
I had it a second ago. Is it in the main book? Yeah, it's in the main book. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I can't find it, so I'm just going to do one for my thing.
Okay.
Where is it? There we go. Oh, here we go. Flame Strike. And it was going to be right here.
Okay, so 6 points of damage. Okay, so all those orcs are hurt. Oh, they can make an agility challenge. Just take half. There's what, 4 orcs there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 5. Plus there's Vurk the Vile. I'm sure he sounds awesome, man. I wonder what he does, guys. Oh shit! Almost all of them actually managed to pass. 2 of them take full damage. The rest of them take half. They're just all so you know. I think what happened is they're moving in so quickly. You tried to judge where they were, and they're just you've never seen something this big. Picture a bunch of like cannibalistic linebackers charging towards you. No doubt that played a role in the poor aim you had. Now, there's one other creature here who's taking a slow turn, and that would be Vuruk the Vile. So now it's his turn. And what Vuruk the Vile says is something in a horrible language. Yo tasho, yo. I bought Iota Arti. And Voda, this in Tanhao calls out, and then the ground around you trembles, and something pulls itself out and stands behind you guys. A giant blackened stone figure. Now, do you guys want to know what the translation of that was? Because there's two of you who I think still have a spell active.
Oh, yes, please. I didn't know if I was going to understand it or not.
So what he said is, I will name him George, and I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him. And I will pat him and pet him and rub him and caress him.
Nice.
Thanks, Brand.
This was only going to be an encounter with orcs tonight, Brett, but thanks. Thanks for the idea. All right, guys.
I just lets out a giant sigh. He's like, oh, son of a bitch.
Brent, you get a fortune point for that, Brent. So thank you for the idea.
No problem.
Okay, so that was it for the fast turns. Now, Hero is taking slow turns first. Who wants to go first?
Rax will go.
Okay, what's he doing?
Well, he will use his great sword, and then
We should do something great with it.
well, that's what we're hoping.
Guys, that my window was open, so I think my neighbors must think I'm a fucking lunatic. Holy shit! Who's he attacking there, Rakus?
Whatever this thing that just popped up effectively right in front of him.
Holy shit! You're deciding to try and take this thing's attention towards you? You are way braver than I thought. Wow, that's amazing.
I believe you mispronounced dumber.
All right. So let's hear. Your attack rolls at 25 absolutely hits. And you trigger your 20 plus thing, which means it needs to take an agility challenge or is blinded, and a strength challenge or it falls prone. Holy shit. All right, let's see here. So first thing is the agility challenge. It actually has -1 to its agility. It is blinded. Ooh. It cannot see with its mystic eyes. Can it stand, though? It is really fucking tough. Yeah, no problem. It staggers like just maybe like a millimeter, but it does not fall prone. However, it does take a butt ton of damage. So that's incredible. You hit it so hard and with so much power, Rakus, that there's a fissure that cracks through this thing.
Kev,
yeah.
may I engage my combat expertise to deal an extra D6?
Dave, I would be hurt if you didn't.
Boom.
You need to roll it, though. you need to roll your...
I'm thinking really hard about it right now. Really hard about it.
So give me a... just roll your fate dice, and that'll be...
Ugh.
Well, but still, that's enough. So it does stagger back. Okay, who else wants to take a slow turn?
I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you doing?
Oberon says, by the strength of all my ancestors, even those lost to Baphomet. And with that, he uses his Born of Baphomet power.
Oh, that's awesome. What does he gain?
He is going to gain +5 health.
Go ahead and add 5 health and 2 corruption to yourself, please.
Does Rakus see this?
He does. So what monstrous feature does he gain, Oberon?
Was there actually a list, right?
Well, no,
Am I
no,
supposed to make a will save? Yeah.
what I'm thinking more is, no, this is something minor. Like, you're not going to get, like, you know, your corruption isn't so high that you're monstrous now. What I mean is, like, I'm picturing you getting a little more feral than what you were before. Like, does
His horns actually physically grow larger and quite more menacing.
I love it. That is permanent, incidentally, too. So your health is permanently 5 higher, and you have 2 corruption now. So that is a free action.
So I'm supposed to make a will save, it says.
Yes, please. Yep.
If Rakus sees this, he yells out, "Brother, no!"
And I think Oberon's only answer is 2 words. Tush! Let's see your will challenge.
Bam.
Oh, nice. So
And then
resist.
he moves forward towards the this blood drinker.
Yep.
And he says, "That hammer does not belong to you."
What language do you say it in?
Let's see, what do I speak?
Is it the old tongue?
Yeah, the old tongue is what he says it in.
He responds to you as you're charging in the old tongue as well. Your people are slaves to my fury.
So can I move all the way in and attack?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
So, and he's sort of charging. You sort of picture both of them running towards each other. So, but you get your attack first. So, what are you doing?
Okay. Using my Ardent Surge.
Remember, you got that 1 boon as well. Until I tell you otherwise.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So roll this sucker twice. Oh, nice.
Oh, yes. That second one is the one you want.
And then he takes 2d6 extra. So he takes 22.
You smash, and one of those horns on his head is, or his helmet is broken off, and he is battered back. Some of his armor has caved in as well, too. That was a savage strike. I will remind you, you can spend a fortune point, take another action as well if you want.
And attack again?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That sounds like a perfect idea.
Okay.
So I'll roll this twice again.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Boom.
The other one's
Hammer.
better. Oh,
So 50
first
wouldn't
one's
hit.
better.
The first one is good enough. And do you do 2d6 extra damage on each hit? Wow. We'll say yes. I'm fine with that.
Oh, actually, technically, no. I only do 1 on the second one.
Only 1. Okay, so then, yeah, so you hit this guy, and he staggers back. Yeah, he's not, he's hurt, but not like, bloodied.
Right, yeah.
So the 2 forces, yeah, all right. So last one is Halen. What are you doing?
I recognize the old speech and the exchange. Well, I can speak that language.
Yep.
So I know something is nasty with this guy, so I will charge in.
Okay.
And I will make a mighty attack.
Okay.
And does this add my... I'll add my other other boon for my my rogue ability.
Go ahead. Oh, nice.
Oh, and it's high, so I will release my my key on him as well.
Okay.
Strike. Oh, boo.
Okay. Boom. So you hit this thing. He staggers back.
I rolled a 1 and a 2 on my key strike.
Okay, and what do you do for your next attack?
And then I will use my bonus action to refocus my key.
Okay. You can take another action though, Brett. Remember you rolled higher than 20?
Yeah. But I need to if I want to refocus the key. So
I got it. Okay.
Like then I'll.
So you hear there's you land. I think it's it for the good guys. So bad guys first. That giant like bruiser of a orc, Thurgosh. He snarls and leaps at you, Halen. Ooh. Yeah, 22 hits you.
Yeah.
He comes down. You can feel the wave of fury coming down, and he releases his focus of fury on you. You guys can pick up how many dice I'm rolling, can't you? Oh, Halen, you've been hit before, but this may be the hardest you've been hit. You take 19 points of damage.
Ouch.
As this fist hits you. And you're actually knocked back. You're not against the wall, so you're not taking any extra damage, but he's taking you away from being engaged with this thing. And you are now engaged with Thurgosh. He did not roll over 20, so he doesn't get another action. So that's it for him. Now it is Yarga. Yarga brings that hammer up. Lightning is playing off of this thing over his head. And he brings it down against you there, Oberon. Oberon does a, let's see here. Oh, that's not great. Does a 17 hit you?
It does.
Okay. So he'll use his ability to do one extra. Oh, motherfucker. Whew, 23 points of damage as this thing hits you. And as it discharges this force on you of lightning and arcing, burning, sensation, there's also this wave of psychic fury that passes through you like a chilling wave. But you're
actually... Oh, keep on. Sorry.
I was going to say, but the memory of the chanting of your allies quickly sets the fires in your stomach burning again, and your courage and your determination is back. So what were you going to say?
Two things happen when he hits me.
Yep.
One, I let out a psychic scream.
Cool. Click on that. What does that do?
So I'm going to spend...
Ooh. So, yeah, it's as wide as it spreads. So, I did say that I think you can safely spend at least 2 without hitting any of your allies.
Right, but it would hit the 2 big orcs.
No, I don't. The orc just happens to be there because remember we're using abstracted movement. But I think that they had moved.
The big guy's not that close to me.
No.
Just the guy I'm engaged. So I'll only spend 1 and just hit the guy right in front of me.
Okay. Well, doesn't it do 2 points of damage? Where's it?
No, it does 1d6. Only if he fails at a will challenge.
Got it. Okay, cool. So let me make a will challenge for him. He did succeed. Yeah, so he isn't affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But then I also strike him with my furious horns.
Nice. That seems to have really hurt him. Your horns gore into him, and you see greenish blood spit up in his mouth. You can see there's a flicker of determination going from his eyes. I want to point out that one of the really interesting things about Shadow the Demon Lord is that you're allowed to do some really interesting improvised actions in this. It makes it really easy to figure out how to do things like, say, I don't know, if you want to trip someone, it makes it easy. If you want to sort of shove someone, it makes it easy. Or if you wanted to grab a weapon that's in someone else's hands, it's a really easy thing to do in this game. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
So Now, the other orcs, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually using a swarm rules as these things go charging in on the caster who you have left alone. Oh, you guys, how could you have done this? You left your caster all alone. And this wave of orcs goes racing in.
He's sort of close to our Minotaur.
And you know what? I'm not going to say it because this is a family program. But I want to point out that one of the things that, one of the primal instincts that drives the orcs is something that would be very applicable to your character there, James. And for the first time since picking up the spell book, you are really wishing that you didn't understand what they said. So first,
I'm the first one that attacks me. He's going to get a bane.
Okay, so first one misses. Second one is, yeah. What's your strength?
I believe. Yep,
What is it?
9. Strength 9.
See, you are knocked to the ground. And they're climbing and crawling and grasping and ripping. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
The others go charging at Rackus. Yeah. Beef is what's for dinner. They both horribly fucking miss. And Verk the Vile took a slow turn, and that critter, just that giant golem thing or whatever it is, just arrived. So it doesn't act. Okay, end of the turn, guys. Top of the round. Please mark yourself for fast or slow turns.
No, she's staying on green. She's fast.
Okay. Fast.
Let's say someone was going to do something like very dangerous again. Does it mean they have to take a slow turn?
What would be dangerous? Oh, like no, that's a free action.
Okay. Yep. Then I will take fast turn.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Amber.
Okay. All these hands are battering and pushing and pulling and yanking at you. What are you gonna do?
In desperation.
On her?
About here. But yes, on her. And I'm also using a triggered action to do that.
Wowzers. Okay, so first up, yeah, you need to make a will challenge with phase.
Fortune point. I'm using a fortune point to pass that one.
No. I don't think that because of it, and I'll tell you why, James, is I'm going to give you a fortune point because I think this is a pretty important story moment for her.
Okay.
But the reason I'm saying you can't do it is because I think you do need to risk it with this one. The amount of panic and the experience she's recently had, you know, and the circumstance, I think this is one of those things where she may go even further into the darkness.
Okay.
But I think that we should, I think that that's something that the dice should dictate. What do you think? Does that sound?
Sounds fair.
Okay.
What it says?
So let's see. Oh. One more corruption. However, give me, so with that in mind, knowing that she is further corrupted, what does this scene look like? I'm actually going to let you kill the orcs that are engaged with Rackus as well. Not Rackus, but those ones. So what consumes all these orcs?
Her eyes already flaming, but it's like black flame now.
Yep.
And she's just looking at them with intense hatred, like it's like a blank stare.
Yeah. And she turns and she screams out in fury and fear, and this wave of black tendrils kind of all wrench out from her and pierce through and envelop each of these orcs. And these things that have no fear and are consumed with fury are terrified. Fortunately, their terror does not last long. And as the mighty tiefling wizard throws herself up, the smoke of tendrils seems to form giant wings that pull her aloft in the air. She hovers there for a moment as they dissipate, and then lands to the ground, completely in possession of her senses and wreathed in blackened flames. So that was pretty cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Oberon looks Yargosh in the face, and he says, "By the strength of my ancestors," and again when he says strength, the veins and the vessels all over his body all sort of burst through his fur.
Love it.
And he gains +1 strength.
Oh. Give me a will challenge, please.
Everyone's becoming corrupt around me.
Oh.
So he actually gains another strength.
Yeah, so he gains 2 strength and 2 corruption. Wow.
Now he's like quite disfigured by the veins. He looks like a sort of like a steroid freak at the gym now.
He's actually close to the size of Rakkus now too.
And he says, "I said this doesn't belong to you." And he grabs the hammer. He drops his axe and grabs the hammer that the orc is holding.
Awesome. Make a strength challenge. And you can include your prayer or whatever, the ardent surge with it as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you've got the +1 boon. And because of this particular action, I'm actually going to make it 2 boons. And you'll know if you succeed why.
So that is 3 boons.
Wow! Look at that. So you drop your axe. It's cast to the side like nothing. Your muscles grow larger, and you seem more twisted and feral. And then you and grab the this mighty axe or mighty hammer. And as soon as you make contact with it, and this is a reminder, that's what that massive hammer looks like. You hit that, and there's a flash, and you stand at the head of a mighty army, stretching back behind you as far as you can see. It is all of your allies, all of your brethren from your order, from the founding till you, the last member. All of your brothers look at you, their eyes filled with intensity. You can feel their will supporting you and propping you up as you grasp what is intended as your weapon. Because this hammer has a name, and the name is Bastion. You get to make one more fast turn. What do you want to do with it?
Sweet. I want to crush Yargosh with Bastion.
You wrench this thing out of his hand. You know what you have to say.
Okta!
And you bring it down. Make an attack roll. Now you have 2 boons on your attack roll. I actually give it 3 to counteract the 1 bane from your great axe. Just use your great axe. Make an attack with 3 boons. And you're going to do 2d6 extra damage. Okay, so I'll roll 2d6 as well.
Nice.
Nice. So you bring this thing up, and it only requires 1 hand, because Bastion is a protective weapon. You bring it up, that mass of the lightning sort of encircles around it, and you hit down on this guy. His armor and bone and flesh crumple underneath you like an empty barrel. You smash his body back through that door, and you bring it back, knowing that this is your weapon. Now, with the support of your brethren, you have an option. And this is, you can make it only this one time. You can give up the bonuses that you just gained by answering Baphomet's call, but you will also lose your corruption.
Oh, there you go.
I'll let you consider that.
Yeah,
And then we
I'll
go to
think about
Halen.
it.
So Halen, you're in the fast turn. Sorry for leaving you in the worst
No,
here.
it's okay. I've got a cool idea to do something cinematic and foreshadowing Halen's future by using an incantation.
Okay.
But
Brent,
I
you're gonna have to.
have a different.
Brent, I'm sorry, but you would have to draw the incantation out then, and that would be your action.
Oh, could I? Could I change it to a slow?
Not at this point. You could spend a fortune point if you want to take it 2 actions.
Sure, I'll do that. That would make it. Yeah, it's worth it. I think. Cool. All right. So it's called Strike the Soul. My fist, when I cast the incantation, my fist will glow, powered by my soul.
Okay.
And as I punch it, it'll give me 3 extra boons to hit, 1 extra d6 to damage, and if it's a living creature and has a soul, it takes 1 point of sanity and becomes what's it called? Impaired for 1 round.
Okay.
If you don't want me to use that, I can just use another ability too.
I know, Brent. I'll tell you. Don't use that. Use one of your other abilities, and I like that you're trying to try something, but because we can't see it in the display, it's just that's why it's really important to, if you're taking any of those incantations, if you're taking anything like that, it needs to be loaded into the character sheet.
Sorry, yeah, I just wrote it down on the equipment instead of putting it as a ability.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm just saying why. That's why, right? Because by doing that work, by having that on there, that saves us having to ever look up shit, and then we all can see it, and we can all help each other, and we can all learn from it, right? So, but anyway, do this, Brent. You just apply whatever the benefits are from this thing to whatever your action is. You make the necessary modifications to your roll, and just go ahead and make your roll.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I will just attack with my fist.
Oh, and incidentally, Yargash Blood Drinker is dead.
Yeah.
The only blood he's drinking is his own.
Buttock, you are next.
Nice.
All right. So it takes an extra d6. And that's enough to knock into my key focus, so I will do that as well.
There you go. Give it shit.
Or I guess that's enough for me to refocus and do it. Oh, fuck. That's a wrong. Key strike, not refocus.
Yeah.
That would help.
Oh, it's garbage.
Oh, what the hell did I roll? A 1 in depth is what I rolled the last time. A 1 in it too. Anyway.
Okay, so you hit him.
So yeah, and then if he's living and does have a soul, then he is he becomes impaired and gains a point of sanity.
Okay, so you disrupted his fury. Whatever key thing that he's got going on, whatever the focusing of fury he has going on, you've really disrupted it. In fact, you know what? Because you're trying to be cinematic, give me one more fast turn.
Okay, awesome. You know what? I'm going to go mighty. I punched him, and I'll follow up by a second punch with a mighty attack.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. That is good enough. So what does this look like when you do your mighty attack?
So I think maybe the glowing fist staggered him back, but it wasn't enough to finish him off. So I sort of look at him, focus and like punch his chest where I believe his heart is.
Okay, so you leap up and spin around, and then you kind of carry forward and hit him. And I want to remind you of one thing. You had an extra action that you used to refocus your ki. So why don't you give me your ki focus damage again?
Right. I will definitely do that.
Here we go. Big money. Big money.
Survey says.
Yeah.
That's much better than
Bam! So you hit this guy, and you can hear the sickening crunch in his chest as he falls back. You knock him well back into the other room. He gets up, and again, this is just how fucking tough. Let's take a look at what this guy looks like again, just as a reminder of how tough. And remember how tough orcs are. This is the toughest of the tough orcs. He staggers to his feet again, stepping forward. You can see by from the spasms in his chest that his muscles there are not connected properly any longer. The shoulder seems dislocated as well. And he manages to make it to about here before he falls to one knee, reaches towards you, coughs up about 3 pints of blood, and then drops down dead. Thurgosh, Blood Rager, is dead. That's it for the fast turns. Slow turns, Rackus. What are you doing?
Rackus will keep working on his large friend there.
Okay. You spin around. What are you doing?
We'll attack with his Silver Greatsword. And
Spin around. Oh no. Ping! Bounces off this thing's rocky hide. Even as powerful as this thing was, you think you just maybe hit one of its weird angles on its body. Anything you want to do?
No.
All right. So it's Vurek the Vile's turn then, and this thing. Vurek looks at a lot of you. And let's remind ourselves what Vurek looks like. I think he wants to make out. Where are you, Vurek?
He looks awesome.
He looks at you, brings this cloak that he has around him that has more of those feathers coming down. He swoops it around him. And then this crow seems to take off. Soars off into the sky as Vurek the Vile flies away.
Bastard.
This thing that you were fighting, Dave, it turns towards you and then collapses back into a heap of upturned earth and stone. Whatever was animating it is gone. Now, as you step away from this entrance to the Chapel of Moradin, Oberon, what do we see?
Oberon, he puts the hammer head down on the ground, and he sort of he'll actually use his healing spell on himself as he's sort of refocusing.
Yep.
This one I just learned.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that one's awesome.
That's amazing. Wow.
And while he's sort of healing and he's clearing his mind, I'm actually going to make a will challenge for myself.
You would have 2 boons on a will. Oh, look at that! You don't
that's
need
okay.
them.
He easily made it. He says out loud, sort of to his brother. He says, "I will live with the choices I have made, honoring both our brethren that have withstood the call and those who fell, and he will retain his corruption."
Ooh. You cannot help but sense that there is some disappointment in your brethren.
Rakus can't do anything but look down in sadness. Like he can't even meet his brother's gaze when he's saying it. It's everything that he can do to keep himself from overtly shaking his head in disappointment.
Okay. So, guys, I'm looking at the time. We are at our normal quick time right now. Can we go another like 15 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Sure.
Okay. So what we're going to do is this then disappears. What's your plan here, guys? I think we're going to go into a little bit of narrative mode here. They're most significant challenges. Now, this place is still full of orcs. So you're going to be fighting your way along here through all of these things. Incidentally, Jeff?
Yeah.
We can't modify the stats right now, I guess, but you are level 7. You are a Cenobite.
Oh.
Ooh, sweet.
Because you have connections now to all of your former peoples. All the members of your order. Okay, so what you guys do is you see that in this other courtyard. Oh, let me get the dynamic lighting out of the way here. There were more orcs there, but you defeated them. Let me get rid of some doors here actually while I'm doing this. Boom. You go into, oops, you're wrong people. So you defeated those. What was the plan here, guys? Where are you going to go next? You knew that though. And here is the chapel or cathedral of Moradin. It is absolutely desecrated. Shit and piss and all sorts of horrible things have been done to this once holy place.
Well, let's continue the mission. We'll work our way down to.
No, we need to go up to the library.
Okay.
Amber wants to find out how to collapse or close the underground highway.
So you go up to the second floor, and actually, let me just get rid of something here first. Stairs.
I guess I should use a couple of healing potions while we're on our way.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. And let me move you guys.
Oh, I could heal you too, Brent.
Oh, okay. I'll pass you a healing potion so you can charge your mana, and then I'm at 19 points of damage.
Okay, guys. So here's where we are.
Well, I'll cast major healing again.
Can you see where you are here?
Yep.
So let me select everybody here so I can just move you easily. You make your way to the second floor. You, knowing which direction you need to go, are making your way along the hallway here. And you come into this room where the library is, and the library is a disaster. Oh. You make these 4 orcs pay for their desecration of this place of learning with their lives. However, it appears that someone has carefully gone through here. You were given instructions by the elder to see where this tome was that spoke of the highways in the Dark Lands, and it is gone. You can also see in that other courtyard that they have continued their cooking out there. All throughout the surface levels here are signs of horror of what was done to the monks who lived here, who trained and who prayed. You can hear from somewhere outside, as you're going to the library, the screech of a dragon. A dragon has clearly been agitated by something. Where is my dragon sound? I don't know. I can't find. I'm a dragon sound. What the shit? Sorry, guys. I had a pretty cool dragon sound I thought I had queued up here, but I don't know where the hell I put it. Sorry. I'm not going to try to do it. It'll just... So, you guys can go through the doors there. It leads out to a balcony here. You can see down the scene of your victory is right below you, and a scene of horror where they were cooking dwarves. You make your way to the far side here, guys, and through this door. There's another hallway that leads around. Remember, lost you there. And this leads down and into a hallway around here, guys. You're following where I'm taking you, right?
Trying to.
Going around and around, and then you see it. There's the walkway to the center tower. You can hear outside that screech and the heavy beating wings. Whoa, 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 of the dragon. Do you make a run for it, guys? You try and sprint before this thing can see you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody, give me a strength challenge, please.
Oh, damn.
No. You know what, guys? No. Sorry. Can you make a roll for speed?
Agility, I think. No, I think we actually can. Nope, we can't.
No.
Can't. Okay, give me a strength or agility, whichever one you want to use. I'm fine with either. Halen, because of your spell, I'll give you 2 boons on your roll.
Okay. I've also got a super high key focus adds +3 to my. I think I've got a speed of like 15.
No, so that's 2's good enough. Don't be.
Oh, 20.
Okay, so Oberon, no problem. Okay, so Rackus and Ember. You're just behind this thing. Again, I mentioned the dragon's sense of smell. Did I mention its hearing?
Can't hear me.
It goes by. That's true. Can't hear you. Could see you, though, and smell you.
Damn it.
You're the one who wanted to play a character named Ember. It's a smell burn. So as it flies by, unleashes a torrent of flame. Those of you who failed, please give me an agility challenge roll with 2 banes.
Oh, you know what?
Nice one, Rackus. Nice one, Ember.
Oh.
So you guys only take half damage from this, but you are tagged with 8 points of dragon fire damage.
No.
Unfortunately, because it's dragon fire, you will not be able to resist it there, Ember. And this thing swoops over you. Let me see if I can give you a little taste. As you race into the tower. You cannot help but think, can this thing actually burn through stone? Are we safe in this tower?
Yes, we are.
Well, you're going to have to keep moving. So you make your way around the side. And again. And then you see it. Stairs down. Let's get you guys here. You go racing down the stairs. And in your fear, because you're scared, you're so very scared, and you don't know why. Anyone who made the success earlier with their roll knows why. The very presence of a dragon can send the most sturdy heart trembling. So you just remember as you're going down the stairs, oh gods, the golem. Let me delete your other tokens here. Boom, you're not there anymore. So you're racing down. There's the guardian golem. This thing stomps and begins walking towards you. What do you guys do?
I reach into my pocket and pull out the symbol, the hammer, and I hold it before him.
Are you doing it because you're scared?
No, I'm doing it because I'm confident. In fact, I'll hold it up to him and I'll offer it to him, like palm out.
It steps towards you and it's big. This thing looks like a roughly carved dwarven shape. It stops, looks down, takes some steps back, and leaves you be. There are stairs leading down, guys. Do you go down them?
Yep.
Of course.
This is where it leads down to a curving hallway and up to a door. Do you open the door?
Yeah.
It leads
Ain't
to a
nobody just
hallway.
standing behind the door.
And inside the hallway, there are all these carvings on the door, on the hallway. These carvings depict the struggle of the dwarves against the giants. What do you want to do?
Through the door.
Through the door.
There are another set of doors at the far end.
Through more doors.
Am I sensing any magic?
Oh, yes. You throw open this door, and what is inside is a miracle.
More doors.
No, inside there is a room, and this room is full of shelves. And on these shelves, these are stone shelves carved expertly into the walls. And on each of these shelves, there is a different item or box or container. Oh, do you want me to move you down there, Jeff?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Here, one, two, there. Boom.
I just thought you were moving this.
The thing that is the most interesting, first off, Halen, as you step in, there's immediately something, you're hit by that wave of familiarity again. You hear the laugh, and your heart breaks because it's the voice of your son.
Mm-hmm.
Did you forget to mention to everyone that when you went on your pilgrimage, you left your wife and son behind?
It's not something he would bring up. It's too painful.
What did he call you? Father? Papa?
Father, I think.
Father. You hear, and you look around. Father. We wait. You look around again, studying the various things on the walls, waiting in the alcoves, and then you see it.
He's got tears coming down his eyes now, like just as streaming down his cheeks.
You hear your wife's voice. Yes, Aelin, beloved. And you see it is a perfect spear. The words of your people on the side. You cannot read it from here. What do you do?
I slowly stumble. Usually Palin walks with grace, but it's gone right now. He kind of stumbles towards it.
As you do, you can feel the hands of your father take you by your shoulders. Halen, let us help. The voice of your mother. You need to stand strong and tall, my son. And the sound of your son again. Nearly there, Father. Nearly there.
Yeah, Halen replies out loud back to him. Calls his wife by name and to his son. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. I'm so sorry I was away.
You hear your wife laugh, and your heart breaks because it's been so long since you've heard it. Halen, all happens for purposes. Step forward, and you can see the spear. You need to touch the spear.
All right. He slowly, sort of hesitantly reaches out and touches it.
Do you do it hesitantly, or do you listen to the voices of your family?
Yeah, you know what? At this point, yeah, you're right. He reaches out and firmly grasps it.
You grab this spear, and you guys are all sort of distracted by something else that I'll mention in a moment, but Halen can only see this and is really focused on this. You grab the spear, and there's this flash of light, and you know that they are with you. All of them. All the ones lost. They're with you again. And you look at this spear, and there is one word that's written on it in that ancient tongue, and you know what it means. The spear's name is Animus, and it is yours. Brent, you are level 7, and you are a Cenobite. Now, you guys did not really pay attention to this going on because you see drifting in the center of the room is a ghostly apparition. Translucent. As if someone had taken an ancient dwarf and somehow made him opaque and formed of smoke and light. And he drifts there and says, yes, in that old tongue as well, it was meant for you. And he turns to the rest of you. And who are you? Actually, hold on, he's dwarven. And who are you?
I'm Oberon.
I
And
remember.
what of it? You would come and raid our wares? Suddenly there's a hammer in his hand and a shield in his other, and armor all around him. You will not steal these treasures.
We've been sent by your own people to safeguard them.
The monastery has fallen. Amber presents him with the item that what's his name gave to us.
You hold it out, and remember, it's that fragment of black stone with little flecks of orange in it. He looks, and suddenly the armor disappears, the shield disappears, the hammer disappears. And he steps forward. He says, no. The Sundering Stone. It cannot be. And he steps up forward and he tries to put his hand on the stone. And it passes through it. So it has come. The time of the Sundering again. He looks up at all of you. You have come for these weapons then. You were foretold. And he turns. And there's more of all this carvings and whatnot that are in here. Of the dwarves fighting the giants and whatnot. And we'll get into what those are between sessions to give you a little more information. You can see that it all carves along until where the back is. And at the back in that circular area is where sort of all of the action directs towards. And you can see that there is, amongst the combatants in the very center, there is a Minotaur with a hammer in one hand and a shield in another. There is another Minotaur with an enormous, wonderful sword. There is a fine, live elf with a spear. There is another elf with a blackened blade in his hand. Above you drifts a small boy who casts a shadow in the form of a titanic dragon. On the left side of the dragon, a single head arcs out and curls around. On the other side, 5 dragon heads arc out and around. And beneath that drifting small human form is a demonic woman with a book in one hand and a seal in the other. You can tell that this is a distorted version of the leader of your party. But you guys turn too slowly. So what you do not see is that Ember has carefully tucked a seal into her satchel, taken from the shelves in this crypt. And with that, we will end the session. So let me get out of this here. I'll exit the game and then I'll stop sharing. Okay, so stop sharing. Yep. Put the darn camera back on. See if it'll work. Come on, you. Okay, let's see. Okay, come on, you. I got black. Does that mean it's working again? Nope. You guys can't see me. Hey, yeah, and we're back. So, interesting things transpiring here, guys. We'll talk when we go off. We'll talk more in just a moment when we go offline. But for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this, the last of 5 or the first of the 5 final sessions we have for this campaign. I will say this on air, guys. You're all level 7.
Woo!
And for those listening at home, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this session, please do not hesitate to give me a call. Try not to call. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely format. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us for this last, or the first of the 5 final sessions for this campaign. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time.